Are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internet, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I'm not sure where to start. First of all, the Iran conflict is still going on. It is ramping up. Hopefully it comes to an end soon and we don't have this crazy long forever war, but it is still going on and there's still quite a bit developing from that. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, maybe as a result of the Iran conflict, maybe because this always happens regardless of what's going on, we get a bunch of terror attacks, near terror attacks, bomb threats on planes, including a shooting at my alma mater. Can I say that? Although I didn't graduate, ODU out there in Norfolk. An ROTC teacher, a beloved person who I have mutual friends with, was shot during class by a radical Islamic extremist, a convicted radical Islamic extremist from Sierra Leone. Now, I don't know why he was allowed to remain in the country. I don't care, naturalized citizen or not. I think maybe, just maybe, if you become a terrorist and you travel to Libya and you kill somebody, maybe like before that happens, the whole Libya trip and providing support to ISIS should have been enough to get you denaturalized. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Starbucks leaving Free Out of Washington, going to Tennessee as their former CEO leaves Seattle and goes to Florida. New York City unaffordable. Who would imagine? We got all those things and much more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right, we got quite a bit going on. Shout out to you guys again for being here. You guys are the best. Hey, to all the Muslims out there, if you are a peaceful Muslim, shout out to you. I don't got nothing against you at all. I say practice your religion. I know y'all be, you doing all this good stuff. Okay, cool. But guess what though? My only request from the Muslims, hear me well, my only request is that you don't do a random Allahu Akbar in the middle of a town square. That you don't go and shoot somebody up because you're religious now. That you don't go to Libya, Afghanistan or something like that and then try to be a terrorist. Okay, now listen, actually, you know what? You could go over there and be radicalized as long as you stay over there. If you want to go to Boot-Headistan and become a radical Islamic extremist, stay over in Boot-Headistan and be a terrorist over there. Continue to make those civilizations over there be stuck in the Stone Age, okay? A lot of y'all old Muslim places are still stuck in the year 699 AD. Y'all have not progressed 1 year. Okay, you got your women wearing trash bags. You got the men wearing rags. You're looking like a whole video game NPC still in the year of our Lord 2026. Y'all stuck in the Stone Age. I'm surprised you're not walking around with stone tools, with flint tools. You still trying to spark fires. Caveman. 1 foot in the cave still in 2026. But yo, if you want to live that lifestyle, there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to be a caveman, having your woman in a trash bag, beating her to death if she crosses the street without asking permission, do that over in Boot-Headistan. I'm sure Boot-Headistan is beautiful in the wintertime. I'm sure they got all kind of, well, I don't know. When I think about a Boot-Headistan, I'm thinking about nothing but sand, okay? All sand and no beach. You understand what I'm saying? Like, sand is okay when you go to Miami, when you go back to my home, back to Virginia Beach. Sand is okay because you got some sun, you got some water. But over there in Boot-Headistan, it's just straight sand for no reason at all. Just sand, no water to think of. It's hot. It's 165 degrees in the shade, and it ain't no shade because it ain't no trees, vegetation, life of any sort out there. So, of course, If you're living in that kind of environment, it makes sense to be stuck in the Stone Age because you have no natural resources. You have no sense of entertainment. You have nothing. All you have is this book from back then that you interpret any kind of way you want to interpret. And then when it's any kind of minor inconvenience, you want to go strap a bomb to yourself and blow yourself up. We've seen this happen quite a bit. And not just because of Iran, because they're going to say, oh, ABL, it's the Iran retaliation, ABL, it's the Iran retaliation. Really? Is it? What was the excuse of 2013 with the Boston massacre, the Boston Marathon bombing? What was the excuse back then? What are the excuses all the time whenever there's some kind of Allahu Akbar activity? What are the excuses? Now, listen, as I said from the beginning, if you are a regular normie Muslim, you just go pray and do your thing, and you do your fasting, you practice Ramadan. Okay. My teacher back in high school, one of my teachers was a Muslim, and he would practice his faith. He would fast, all that kind of good stuff. And I never saw anything bad about him. I never heard anything bad about him. He did not come off like a big beard, no mustache extremist. Yeah, and y'all know what I'm talking about. Don't even do that. He did not come off like a big beard, no mustache, still stuck in the year 750 AD type of guy. He's like a regular normie dude. If that's you, keep on rocking. What I want you to do, what I challenge yourself to do, is to not backslide into archaic, destructive, violent tendencies. Like this dude, the Muhammad. And y'all know I always talk about the Muslims when they do stuff. I say Muhammad number 1, Muhammad number 2. And in this case, the guy at ODU was literally named Muhammad. Like that was his actual name, Muhammad. It was like, oh, wow. You could have fooled me. I thought maybe your name was Tyrone or Lewis or Stephen. Muhammad, I had no idea that you, a radical Islamic extremist who committed a terror attack, was named Muhammad. Imagine my surprise. But anyway, I went to ODU. Like, I know that campus. I know Constant Hall. I know Constant Convocation Center. I know the Web Center. I remember when ODU did not have a football team. And I remember when they built the football stadium. I remember the whole thing when they were going through the process of getting the football team in the stadium and getting the coach. I follow all of that stuff because I was there. I was there when all that was going on. Okay. Like, I know about that neighborhood in between Lambert's Point to the south, Larchmont to the north. It's a little dangerous out there. A quick ODU story, and RIP to Lieutenant Colonel Brandon Shaw, decorated Army, Iraq war veteran, may rest in peace, prayers out to his family. But a little bit about ODU. The main thing you got to worry about on the campus of ODU is the armed robberies, because you're in Norfolk. And Norfolk has always been kind of sketchy, depending upon where you're at. Depending upon the neighborhood. You could be over there by Willowwood. It's beautiful, peaceful, birds chirping, white kids out there playing tennis and stuff like this. But then you go to some parts of Norfolk, it's do or die, kill or be killed. Okay, it's ridiculous crime. But anyway, the thing about ODU, there's always the issue of armed robbery. And it doesn't even matter if you're outside walking by yourself or if you have a group of people with you. If you by yourself, it's going to be dangerous because you're an easy target. But if you got a group with you, you're not going to be immune. There was one story y'all saw many years ago where there was a group of kids walking on ODU campus or nearby. They're going to the pizza spot. I think it might have been Chicho's. And if you know, you know. I think they were going to Chicho's and they were coming back. 5 of them get surrounded by like 10 people and robbed at gunpoint. Have you ever seen a thing like that before in your life? Have you ever seen 5 people walking, get surrounded by 10 people at gunpoint and get robbed? That kind of thing happens out there. Now, luckily, during my time at ODU, I did not have any problems like this. And I was kind of halfway, 1 foot in the street anyway. So if I saw somebody out there doing something like that, I'd be like, Jermaine, that's you? Like, it's me. It's Ant. Come on, man. I'm not, you know what I mean? Oh, my bad, Ant. Go ahead. But no, I'm just playing. But anyway, I never had those kind of problems out there. But there was a risk. But never did I think there would be this that happened on the campus of ODU. And you know what? They wouldn't have blamed the guns. They wouldn't have blamed this and they wouldn't have blamed that. And when I say they, I mean the people who have 2 brain cells in Virginia who are in some leadership roles, like the Commonwealth attorney, that guy talking about, oh, well, we care more about guns than we care about children. We care more about guns than we care about safety. Da, 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 da. And since I'm right here right now talking about guns in Virginia, there is a law that they're proposing, and I'm going to do a video on this so y'all don't, hey, I see you guys in the comments saying, hey, you from Virginia, please look out. I got you. Don't worry about it. I got the video coming up ASAP, a full-length video about them trying to restrict gun laws in Virginia. The problem with Virginia and the gun laws, meaning the issue of there being a disagreement, is between Northern Virginia and the rest of Virginia. There was a man that said it's Nova versus Rova, meaning Northern Virginia and rest of Virginia. In Nova, they seem to think that liberal policies work. They seem to think that the policies that they brought with them from California, New York, etc., work in a place like Virginia. They seem to think that gun laws work. Obviously, they didn't. In the case of Lieutenant Colonel Brandon Shaw being killed, the guy who killed him, the Muhammad, literally his name is Muhammad, he was a convicted felon on supervised release. How do you get a gun? If you go to a gun store and try to pass a background check, you're going to be automatically flagged and you're going to fail. And you might mess around and get locked up because why are you trying to buy a gun while you're on release supervised? You might get sent back to the penitentiary for doing that. But anyway, he did not buy his gun legally. He did not buy his gun from the store. He did not buy his gun from anywhere else other than the criminal who stole the gun and sold it to him for $100. So to the people that say they want to ban guns and block guns and whatnot, what are you thinking about? Do you understand how easy it is for someone to steal a gun and sell it illegally? You don't really get that. Then they got 3D printed ghost guns, all kind of stuff. You're not going to solve any kind of problem by trying to ban guns. Furthermore, Virginia is a state where we've always had guns since the beginning. I'm a Virginia native. Before it became West Virginia, my family was in Virginia. Like before the 1800s, before the 1700s, we were there, and guns have always been part of the culture. In Virginia, you can open carry anything you want anywhere. I've seen guys in the hood with big revolvers. I'm talking about like 357 Magnum on their hip, like they're a cowboy. And it's okay because you're allowed to do that in Virginia. You can open carry a rifle, a shotgun, a handgun, AR-15, whatever you want. You can open carry that in the Commonwealth of Virginia. But now they want to try to ban guns. Now they want to try to make lawful gun owners criminals. This makes no sense. You're not going to deal with the issue of criminality by targeting lawful gun owners. That's just not how it works. What you need to do is uphold the laws on the books. Do you know that in the Commonwealth of Virginia, if you're caught with an illegal weapon, that is 5 years mandatory minimum in the penitentiary? Do you know that? Say it one more time. In the Commonwealth, or state as we would say, in the Commonwealth of Virginia, if you're caught with an illegal weapon, that is 5 years in prison, mandatory minimum. Uphold that. And everybody knows that. I knew that when I was like 14 years old, because I knew guys who would get in trouble back then with guns. When I was in high school, guys that was my age. And also in Virginia, you're able to be tried as an adult at age 14. Okay? You're able to be tried as an adult at age 14. So we know that. And if you got gun laws that you actually follow, the incentive to break the laws is lessened. Okay, you're removing the incentive, because if people think that it's not really a big deal, they can be in and out, it ain't no real jail time, it's whatever, then they may tend to break laws more. But if they think there's going to be a penalty, if they think that they're going to actually get in trouble for breaking the law, for having an illegal gun, they're less likely to do it. But just trying to ban guns outright is totally ridiculous. So what you should have done in the case of the Muhammad who shot Lieutenant Colonel Brandon Shaw is, first of all, keep him in jail for the extended period of time he was supposed to. When he was convicted in 2017 of providing material support to ISIS, he was originally given an 11-year sentence plus 5 years supervised release. So that would have put him at 28 being released, and then 5 years on probation, parole, or whatever the case may be, supervised release. He was released in December of 2024. Now, that's a really interesting date. That's kind of a head scratching date right there, because what happened in November of 2024? Anybody want to take a stab at it? Anybody want to guess what happened in November 2024? Okay. There was an election and President Trump won the election. So 1 month, probably just a few days before the inauguration, here comes Joe Biden's administration saying, okay, this guy, the domestic terrorist from Sierra Leone, yeah, release him early. It's okay. Rather than 2028, release him 4 years early in 2024. And then what does he do? Go out and commit a terror attack in the name of Allah. Anybody could have seen that coming. Anybody with a pair of eyes, anybody with a brain could have most certainly seen that coming. But here we are. So if you want to prevent terror attacks, if you want to prevent gun violence, just uphold the laws you got on the books. Hey, if a guy says, I want to support Allah, I want to support ISIS, and he goes to Libya and stuff like this to try to carry out attacks against the USA, and he gets convicted and sentenced to 11 years, give him the whole 11. Don't let him out early. If you let him out early and he commits a terror attack, whose fault is it? Is it the gun's fault? Like, what's going on? If you're going to blame anybody aside from the guy who did it, which he has to have blame first and foremost before anybody else. But if we're going to blame anybody else outside of him, it has to be whoever released him, the Biden administration, the judge, saying, hey, that's a great candidate for a second chance, for early release. You know, all he did was just become a naturalized citizen and then commit treason. But it's no big deal. No big deal. Let him out early. And what does he do? Terror attack. Furthermore, upon his release, which should have been another, few years from now, he should have been denaturalized and sent back to Sierra Leone. I think that being a citizen is a privilege. And if you're not a natural born citizen, there should be things that you can do to get yourself denaturalized, which would mean you could deport a citizen in a sense. But hear me out. Some are going to hear that and say, well, look, but you can't deport citizens. Well, if you become denaturalized, you're not a citizen anymore, and then you get deported. When you become a citizen, there should be some caveats. There should be some clauses in the contract, if you will. Okay. You could become a citizen. You could become part of the USA. But if you, commit a crime against a child, or you commit treason, you try to blow up the White House, or, you shoot the president or something like that. Okay. That should be enough, first of all, for a lengthy prison sentence, long time in the penitentiary, big rocks, little rocks. But upon your release, you need to be deported back to your country of origin, not kept in the USA. We're not going to release you and just let you be here. No. When you're convicted, you're going to be denaturalized and sent back. That's what should happen. I'm not saying just deport a citizen over nothing. It needs to be something egregious, very egregious. But some would say, you know what, even if it's a small crime, because why are you coming over here committing crimes? I would presume that if I go to China on some kind of visa, some kind of waiver, not even really a citizen, because they don't even really do that unless you're Han Chinese. But anyway, if I'm over there and I do something wrong, something crazy, like I try to overthrow their government or something, I'd presume that I'm going to get shot, killed, locked up, deported, or all the above. Okay, they might delete me and then send the body back to the USA in the raft. Okay, from Beijing, just push you off. Okay, hopefully you make it. Hopefully you get there before the sharks get you. That's pretty much what they would do. But over here, what do we do? Let you out early, give you all kind of benefits, treat you with kid gloves, and then when you commit a terror attack, we don't even blame you. We blame something else. We blame an inanimate object. We blame this or that or the third. It's crazy, but shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, we got the whole issue of Starbucks. Starbies leaving Seattle, Washington, potentially, and going to Nashville. Now, they say that they're not leaving. Like the whole corporate office is not leaving. It's just a few jobs that are leaving. But I think there's a trend going on with all these blue places: Seattle, Washington, Portland, Oregon, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Chicago, Illinois, New York, New York. People are leaving. People are leaving, and a lot of the wealth is being transferred to the Sun Belt area, Texas, even the Phoenix, Arizona, Las Vegas, Nevada, the South, the old school South, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, Florida, of course. Florida is jumping. North and South Carolina. But the old northern places, they're just starting to hollow out. They're starting to hollow out. And a lot of them, I think what we see right now, they are dependent upon your slave labor, aka migrant labor. That's why these people are protesting so hard to keep the migrants here, because the migrants fuel their economy. Minnesota is a prime example of this. This is a chief example. There's other parts of the country, maybe a Vermont or something like that, that might be kind of Maine, Vermont, maybe some of them places, they got some of that going on. But Minnesota has built their entire economy off of these so-called migrants with the Somalis, because what the Somalis do, not all, but a lot, maybe even most, what they do is steal money from the federal government and spend that money in a local economy. That's the bottom line. That is what is keeping the Minnesota economy afloat, is the money that they steal from the federal government. But they who live in Minnesota and are not Somalis are not the ones stealing it. It's the Somalis stealing it. They bring them in for that purpose because it's what they do. This is kind of symbiotic like that. We would be dependent upon them for cheap labor if we need it, and to take money from the federal government fraudulently and infuse it into the economy. That's why you got people crashing out over the migrants. Okay, Rachel Nicole Good and her bulldagger girlfriend. Yeah, come on, Rach, get her. You know, remember that when they were you got them. Okay, you got twin bulldaggers, one dead, one is alive. And then you got Alex Pretty, okay, the guy who had to get beautified by the mainstream media, going out there every day just to antagonize the ICE agents. And then he antagonized a little bit too hard. He antagonized Pinch too hard and got himself deleted. They're doing all that out there like that and nowhere else because they want to keep their slave labor. They want to keep these people here who are fueling the economy. That's just the bottom line. Now, what I would say to Alex Pretty, Rachel Nicole Good, everybody else, anybody got a problem with deportations, try doing something yourself. Try, actually working. That's a, because a lot of these people, it's like, what do you do for a living? Rachel Nicole Good, what do you do? What do you and your bulldagger girlfriend do? Alex Pretty, what do you do? I mean, you have a job, but you apparently you got time on your hands to go out there and protest. Rather than protesting, how about being productive in society? How about that? That's what I would say. If you want to be free from having to depend upon the migrants, go out there and do something for yourself and for your community. That'd be my suggestion. That'd be my ask. Exactly, Kevin Watkins. Drive, baby, drive. Drive, Rage. Drive right through them. They're bowling balls, bowling pins. People are crazy. But anyway, so shout out to all the people who want the migrants to leave. If you're here legally, like I said before, if you're here legally, I have no problem with you. If you're here illegally, then I don't know what to tell you. I have nothing for you if you're here illegally. I say it's time to go ahead and go back to your country of origin. Go ahead and just try to figure that out. I don't know what else there is. And the thing about it, like I said before, you got a sweet deal. You want to self-deport on a CBP home app, boom, you're getting a free flight to wherever you want to go, 2,600 U.S. American cold hard cash dollars, and you good. I mean, I wish somebody would, look, if they say, okay, ABL, you're able to get a free vacay, you get in a free flight to wherever you want in the world, and some pocket money, and you get to come back to the country legally, I say, sign me up. Let's get it. Let's get it. Also, Marco Rubio announced that the fee to denounce your citizenship has been drastically reduced. I forget what it was before. We're going to get to that in a minute, but it's been reduced by quite a bit. It might have been like some thousands of dollars. Now it's like hundreds of dollars. So if you don't like the policy of America, If you don't like the Iran war, if you don't like what's happening and you are disgusted, you want to leave America, you want to go somewhere else and try to make it there, you can denounce your citizenship for the low price of like $800. Okay, right around that. So I would say go ahead and do that if you want to. You can actually self-deport if you're an American. Now, if you're an American, you're not getting these benefits that the illegal aliens do. But hey, it's okay. You got it because you're an American, right? You got the money. It's all right. You got a job in America. You've been out there protesting for money. You got the money. It's all right. They're getting paid plenty of money to go out there, hold a sign and stuff like this. So you good. Okay, you got the money. You got the ability to go out there and make something work. Go to Canada or somewhere else and start your life over. And by the way, why is it that people who want to leave America, they hate America, they want to denounce the citizenship, why do they always go to Canada or UK or somewhere like that? Why not Jamaica? Why not Trinidad? They speak English. Okay, they speak English. It ain't that far away. It's close to America. It's closer than going over to Europe, and they speak English. Why you don't want to go there? Oh, okay. You want to go to the Europeans, and people like that who would rather go to UK, Canada, Germany, or someplace like this rather than going to Jamaica or Trinidad. People like that will talk about white man this, white man that all day long. Oh, the white man sucks. The white man's racist. The white man, the white man, the white way. Meanwhile, when it comes time to move somewhere and escape the United States, you want to go to the whitest place possible. You want to go to the great white north. You don't want to go to Jamaica. You don't want to go to Dominican Republic. I mean, you know, picky no panty. They pick it in England and Jamaica. Okay. And the patois, you don't got to worry about that. You're not going into the country no way. You're going to be in the touristy area. They're going to speak perfectly fine English. And it's okay, but you don't want to do that. Anyway, shout out to you guys who want to go to the European places to escape the racism in America. I find that to be hilarious. Hold on. Duel says, question, can an American self-deport to avoid a conscription? That's a really good question. I would suppose you could. I would suppose you could, but that's kind of a question that's a long way away because we don't have a conscription as of yet. I don't think there would be a conscription anyway, even if we did bring the draft back, because selective service. So that's not conscription. Would it be considered conscription if you are? Well, I guess it would be. Yeah, it would be. But I guess you could. Even if you sign a sheet of paper, you probably could still leave, denounce citizenship. Or if you just left without denouncing, they could draft you, but they couldn't get you. They're not going to go to Bhutan, wherever you are, and come get you to draft you into the war. So, hey, you'll be all right. You'll be totally fine. But shout out to you guys for rock and rolling. I appreciate y'all for being here. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And we got quite a bit going on. But before we get to the videos, shout out to the sponsors. Thank you guys for joining. You guys are the first sponsor, of course, for watching, retweeting, super chat, and whatever you do. You know I could not do the show without you. Also, thank you to everybody for being here, but also shout out to patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link will always be in the description, or visit patriotpost.us in your browser. Tell them that ABL sent you. Also, go to the merch website, ablmerch.com. That is ablmerch.com. We got hats, t-shirts, stickers, cities, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. Also, if you want a message recorded for your loved one from me, friend, family, whoever, go to cameo.com, search Anthony Brian Logan, or visit the link in the description, the Cameo link. You can purchase whatever you want there, and I can record something for you, a nice message. Now, if it's anything crazy, I'm not going to do it. You get all your monies right back in your pocket. But if you got something nice, a nice message, it's not too crazy off the wall, I can record that for you on cameo.com, search Anthony Brian Logan, or visit the link in the bio right beneath the video. Also, please go to my regular website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. On the front page of the website, you're able to find articles for each full-length video that I produce. And in each article, I have sources from the left, from the right, from the center, from the politically agnostic, right in the center, Democratic, Republican, local, national, international, whatever you want. I got it right there on the front page of the website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Yes, there is. Marsha, I believe, Marsha, these hats, this one, and hats like this one are on the website, ablmerch.com. Absolutely. You could get any hat that I wear, and any of these videos will be on the website. So that's a great question. Thank you for asking. Now, once you're on the website, my regular website, go to the contact page as well to find all my links on my social media, everything. That's anthonyblogan.com/contact-us. There you're able to find my social media accounts, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X, TikTok. All my links are right there. Also, my email address, my snail address, my UPS box, of course, my social media accounts, everything is on the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact-us. And as I always say, if you ever think you're speaking to me on these interwebs and not, you're probably not, if you did not email me first and I didn't respond back to you. And the email again is on the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact-us. It'll also be in the description box. And the email is contact@anthonyblogan.com. You don't have to remember because it's on the page. But if that's not what is speaking to you, it's not me, most likely, and you're being scammed. It'd be a dude over in India, no flip-flops, okay? He gonna be sweating through his polo shirt over somewhere in a data center, no AC. Hey, the building be 25,000 deep, not one fan, AC, nothing. They gonna cook curry on every floor. It's gonna smell crazy. He gonna be a guy that's scamming you, or it's gonna be a guy over in Eastern Europe trying to escape the war over some bread and stuff like this. He's trying to escape Voldemort Zelensky, the former tap dancer, belly dancer, or whatever. He's trying to escape him, trying to get your money, or it'll be a guy who look just like me, like my twin cousin in Lagos, Nigeria. They're gonna have little fake ABLs over there. Okay, you go to Nigeria, it's gonna be ABL competition. Who could do the best ABL? Like I saw. They had this competition over in Spain, a Stephen Hawking competition, where it was a bunch of Stephen Hawkings with the wheelchair and all of that in like a parade. It was crazy. They gonna have that, but it's gonna be me. It'll be a bunch of young guys with their beard dyed gray trying to do my voice. But they will not get the voice right. They could get the look, the height, all of that, the beard, but that voice, it ain't gonna be right. They're gonna have the polo shirt on, the hat on, the whole knot, the glasses, the beard. But they're going to sound like this. There's not going to be the authentic voice. It's not going to be that general, that from the, you could not feel it from the guts. It's not going to be right. It's going to be just like this. It's not going to be right at all. And they're going to tell you, I'm ABL. Hello, I'm ABL. Please contact me on the number here. Don't do that, okay? I'm telling you right now. I don't want nobody emailing me. I thought I could trust you, bud. I thought I could trust you, man. I sent you some money. You didn't get back to me now. I was like, sir, that was not Anthony Brian Logan. That was Adewale Balogun Lotana. It was not Anthony Brian Logan. But anyway, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. We got quite a bit to get through. There's a podcast with Jake Paul. Hey, did you guys see where Trump was talking about Jake? Is it Jake? Yeah. Did you guys see where Trump was talking about Jake Paul could run for office one day? Now listen, Jake, you doing your thing, you making money, okay, it's fine. I don't like the WWE-ification of boxing, but it's okay. What I don't want is for you to run for office. I don't want to see Senator Jake Paul, Congressman Jake Paul, nothing politics from Jake Paul. How about you guys? But anyway, there is a podcast featuring Trump and Jake Paul. Okay. Let's check it out. All right, hold on. And let's get some sound and RIP in advance to the headphone users.
Have you ever been in a fight? I heard a rumor about you like helping Kobe one time at a game. Is that a true story? It was a long time ago, right? Is this a true story?
Well, it wasn't a fight. I was breaking up a fight.
Okay.
Which sometimes is more dangerous than being in a fight, right? But no, I like Kobe. Kobe was having a hard time with somebody, and it worked out fine. But yeah, I broke it up. Probably not a smart thing to do. historically, it's never good to break up fights.
Yeah. Have you ever been in a fight?
So now this story apparently is a real story. I got a little bit of a background here. So, all right. This is what the AI Grok says. Shout out to Grok. Grok is the only thing I use. I don't use no Chat GPT. I don't use no nothing. I don't know nothing about nothing except for Claude. Pardon me, not Claude. I know about Grok. It says it was 1998 NBA All-Star game in New York City. Players stayed at Trump's Grand Hyatt Hotel in the elevator with Kobe Bryant, Jason Williams, ex-Nets. And let's stop right here. Jason Williams, y'all know who that is? Not white chocolate from the Grizzlies and the Magic or whatever he played on from West Virginia, or he from DuPont City, which is right there. Not him. This is Jason Williams, the big man. Jason Williams went on to go to the penitentiary for killing his limo driver. That's who I'm talking about right here. So he was in an elevator with that guy. He was in danger. And also Oakley is a known enforcer. Oakley was the kind of guy that'd beat you up on GP. Like, these are like Jason Williams and Charles Oakley were some dangerous people. Big, 6'10", 6'8", straight muscle. Anyway, we continue. The elevator, you got Kobe Bryant, Jason Williams, Charles Oakley, and Trump. Williams greeted Kobe, but got offended by his casual, hey, reply, old school respect code. Williams lunged and punched Kobe. Trump grabbed Williams and broke it up, telling Kobe to exit fast. And the story is from author Jeff Pearlman. Now, Trump got in the way of a killer, an actual killer, and Kobe Bryant. Like, for real. For real. Hey, Trump has been brushing with death for a while. He done got shot in his head and didn't die. You putting your hands on an actual convicted murderer before he did the actual murder. But obviously, the murdery instinct was there. And before I continue, let me just show you who I'm talking about right quick. Just so we on the same page. Okay. Now, this is from, what's this from? 2010. Williams served at least 18 months. Former NBA star Jason Williams was sentenced to 5 years in prison Tuesday for fatally shooting a hired limo driver in 2002, ending an 8-year legal odyssey by tearfully apologizing to the victim's family. Okay. Now, I think they're talking about, oh, it was an accident. He didn't really mean to do it. But how do you accidentally shoot a guy with a shotgun? I don't really know how that happens. But anyway, that's that. Let's keep moving here. There's going to be a fight at the White House, a UFC fight. I'm ready for it. You know what? I'm not really a UFC fan like that. I mean, I may watch some stuff on my phone, some clips here and there. You know, I like Israel Adesanya, people like that, some of the old wrestlers, some of the old like Ken Shamrock stuff. But I'm not really a big fan, but I will be tuning into this for sure. Hey, and Trump, if you listen to the sound of my voice, I want a ticket. I know it's like probably trying to get a piece of water in the Sahara Desert. I understand that. But if you could pull some strings, President Trump, I need to be in there, front row. Let's make it happen. But anyway.
But you're going to be at UFC 250?
I will be. It's going to be amazing at the White House. And Dana's a great guy. He's a good fan of yours, you know.
Yes.
But Dana's a good guy, the best. I mean, there's nobody like him. And he had the idea of staging it right at the front door of the White House. We'll be right in the front door of the White House. And he's got a tremendous card. I don't even know if it's filled out, but I just saw it, and it looks like it's going to be, you know, all top guys. They all want to fight at the White House. So it's going to be in honor of the 250th year. So it'll be great.
No, I'm excited. I'm excited to see Sean O'Malley. He's the homie.
Oh, yeah.
But you're going to be at...
All right, there we go. So that's going to be the White House UFC fight. I'm ready for it. Whoever's on the card, I know it's going to be a good card. I know it's going to be just an historical thing. Even if I'm not necessarily the biggest UFC fan, that'd be great to watch. Now, here he is talking about Iran. And again, this is on I guess it's an interview or a podcast with Jake Paul and President Trump. Okay, let's watch this.
This country, I mean, we did this excursion. We had to do it, wipe out evil. Sometimes you have evil. And for 47 years, they've been killing people, you know, in the most violent way. The roadside bombs all over the place, 95% of them are from Iran. Soleimani. That was the one. We took him out. We did a lot of things, the B-2 bombers, and all of this whole thing that we're doing now is people have waited for 47 years for it to happen. So we have to do it right. But our military has been unbelievable. This country, I mean.
There we go. So shout out President Trump. Shout out to Jake Paul and all these guys. Oh, now here's one more about AI. One more about AI. I think AI is going to be big, but I think in many ways it's kind of overrated. It's a little overrated. It's kind of like the internet when it first came out. The internet, it was a big thing, but people, I don't know. It may not have been as big as people thought it was going to be, but it was big. AI will be big as well. The thing about AI they got to fix is these data centers, because there's so many resources being consumed to power AI. And I think right now it's being the cost is being underreported. The cost is kind of being kicked down the road. The true cost is not really coming to full scope yet. When you really got to pay for the power and the water that these things consume, you can't pass it on to consumers, because the consumers right now, they're getting hit with these crazy big bills. The consumers are getting crazy bills from the data centers being there. You got these really high electricity bills, $675, $500, $1,000, to no fault of the person who has the bill. It's because of all the data centers that consume so much electricity that's causing all electricity to rise. But what has to happen is they got to increase the price for these really high consumers, which would make things more costly for us to use that are created with AI, but it's a more realistic way to approach it rather than just increasing everybody's electricity bill, in my humble opinion. But let's watch this about AI.
The USA, and I know you want to bring more jobs, and I think my generation, I think, is in a weird place with like going to school, getting jobs. AI is coming. Give any advice to my generation of people of where to go, where to look, what jobs, manufacturing, how can they get more active and get more opportunities in front of them?
So you know this better than anybody. Because I get this question a lot. What do you do?
Yeah.
You always have to find something you love doing.
Yeah.
Like, I tell people their father wants them to go into business and he hates the business, and the father's successful, they're pushing the son. You've got to do something you like, or you're just not going to be successful at it if you don't. With that being said, try and like something that's where there's a future. Like the hot thing right now is AI.
Yeah.
If you know the AI thing, you're going to get an unbelievable, crazy job at ridiculous numbers you never thought of. That could cool off. Maybe it's going to cool off, but right now. So if you like computers and all of that, it's not a bad thing. Go into an industry. There are some industries, retailing's always tough. There are some industries that are tough. If you love it, do it. But if you can love something where it's got a lot of potential, you're much better off doing that. I have friends that are really smart. They went into businesses that are very, very tough. And they lost, they work. They're smarter than other people I know, but they're in the wrong industry.
Yeah.
If they were in the right industry, they'd do much better. So try picking something that's got potential, and you have to love what you do.
Yeah.
Right on. I agree with that 100%. And as far as things to get into, as far as any kind of industry to get into, I would say AI is booming right now. I'm not sure how long it's going to be booming, but it's booming right now. But also anything dealing with your hands, anything where you build something, where you fix something that a machine at this point cannot do. Like if I was a young guy, I'd get into landscaping and I'd make a killing. I'd be out here. I'd be rolling in money. I would do a lawn. I have so many lawns I would do in my own special kind of way. Like what I do on my lawn, I would do that over in this neighborhood alone. I rack up from right here where I live at is a subdivision. I could probably make $100,000 each. Like I could clear so much money from doing things on my hands. It's crazy. If I was a young guy, I'd be doing that. I would not be on Indeed.com trying to look for jobs online. I would go out there, hit the pavement, hit the streets, and get money straight from individual people, making a killing, planting flowers and grass seeds and stuff like that. That's what I would do. Or I would go try to do some AI stuff and be creative and innovative with that. But the bottom line is there's a lot of ways to make money in this economy right now, but you must be creative and think outside the box a little bit. Now, speaking about thinking outside the box. We got a song, okay? We got a little song, okay? Because, you know, the white liberal women don't like ICE agents, so they got a little tune. You guys want to hear it? Well, if you do or you don't, you're going to hear it for a little bit, okay? So here is the white female, the awful, affluent, white, urban, female liberal. Hold on. The awful is affluent, white, female, urban, liberal. It's the dedication to ICE. Check it out.
Come on, baby. Come on, darling. Let's exchange the... Oh, let me take that moment from here. Come on, darling. Come on, angel. Let's exchange the experience.
Whoa, wait a minute now. Wait just one doggone minute. Okay, you can be doing this stuff. Megan, Karen, whatever. Okay, Susie, look, Susie, you're doing a little bit too much. You got the straightforward bang, the straight across bang. Okay, now you're doing some twerking. Hey, there we go. So that was a affluent, white, female, urban liberal tribute to ICE agents. There you go. You're welcome. Okay, with a little bit of twerking activity at the end and everything. Okay, there we go. So, what do you guys think? What do you give it? Out of 10, 0 out of 10, 10 out of 10, negative 10 out of 10. What do y'all give it? Oh my goodness. Hey, there we go. So there we have it. Let's keep on moving here. Let's keep on rocking. Now, here's actually a good idea. And I want you guys' feedback on it. This is a good idea. Now, matter of fact, I ain't even going to tell you. I'm going to just show you this idea. And let's let it go ahead and rock. RIP in advance to the headphone users. Here we go. Well, the sound might need to be on for the headphone users to be dead. Okay, one more time. Let's try it.
We bought this payphone on Facebook Marketplace and then modified it a bunch and then changed the signage to say, call a Republican. And then we brought the payphone to San Francisco, California, which is the most liberal city in America. And then we installed the payphone outside of Black Serum Tattoo, of course, with their permission. And after we installed the phone, we then got on a flight to Texas, where we bought another payphone in Dallas and drove it 2 hours west to Abilene, the most conservative city in America. And then at an Airbnb, we modified it a bunch and had it say, call a Democrat on it. And then we installed this payphone outside of 7-in-1 Books, of course, with their permission. And when you pick up this phone in Texas, it automatically calls the other phone in San Francisco. And when you pick up the phone in San Francisco, it automatically calls this one in Texas. The project is called The Party Line, and the goal is to get people from different political viewpoints to have meaningful, not hateful conversations. Because at a biological level, humans are far more similar than we are different. And while political discourse often causes stress, human-to-human friendly conversations reduce the stress in our brains and activate the neurotransmitters dopamine and cannabinoids, which make us happier. So follow us to see how this project goes and to hear the conversations that people have on these phones. Also, if you're in Abilene, Texas or San Francisco, California, go check it out.
Now, I love that idea. I love it a lot. Now listen, if there's a phone like that that's ringing, if it's ringing, I'm going to pick up. I'm going, and y'all know me, I'm like this. Yo, what's going on? Yeah, I'm a Republican. What's happening? Where you at? First of all, nothing crazy. I ain't trying to be weird, but what kind of color hair do you have right now? Is it pink, blue, green, all the above? Is it sherbet? Something ring? No, I'm just playing. I would have a good talk with them. A nice conversation. I'd be respectful. I would love a thing like this. I'd be the guy. You know what I would do? I would camp out in front of that phone for like some hours. I'd be right in the little coffee shop or whatever. What they should do, put outside of a coffee shop. I'm going to be in the coffee shop for like a shift, a 4-hour shift. I heard that phone ring. It's like the bat signal. I'm going straight to the phone. Hello? Yes, this is Mr. Republican here. Yeah. Am I black? What kind of question is that? Let's be nice to each other right now. Come on, let's have a good conversation. I love that. What do y'all think? Would you answer the phone if it rang? And how would you respond to any kind of question about, why do you like Trump? I hate him. He's so bad. What would you say? Hey, y'all know me. I do the calls on the line. Exactly. I do the hey. Or I could do like this kind of show, like in public. It's all good. What I want to do eventually is like go to a place and just stick a sign over my forehead. It says, I might do it at the Beltline in Atlanta, put a sign on my forehead that says, I'm Republican, ask me anything, at AMA. And we could do it right there in real time. Look out for that coming soon. Now, this is going to be Vermont. These liberals did not want an ICE raid to happen, so they joined together. The community joined forces to stop the break from happening, okay? And here is what we have. Here's the result of the community coming together to stop an ICE raid from happening in Vermont. Check it out.
Quit your job! Go home! Go home! Show yourself! Quit your job! Go home!
Okay, now look, what is all this about? Is it that serious? Is the economy that intertwined with these illegal aliens that you want to do stuff like this? A human chain? Go home! Umbrellas? Like, what are the umbrellas for? Is that the shield? Is that the front line? You have no tank available. The tank might have got broke down on I-95 going up to Maine or Vermont or wherever you at. The tank broke down, okay? So there's no tanks available. So rather than tanks, we must use these black umbrellas to make ourselves appear to be bigger, okay? Now, I'm seeing the big noggin right there, but the body ain't quite big enough. The 400-pound tank, it broke down. It can't make it. So the umbrellas just make it appear to be more than what it is. That's what's going on. So, yeah, shout out to them out there in Vermont. Hey, you're here illegally, man. I don't know what to tell you because any other American is subject to the law. I can't say I'm going to just do whatever I want to do and not be held accountable. So the same rules apply to them. That's just how it goes. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling. All right, let's check this out. What was we talking about? Hold on, let me see what this is about first. I forgot.
The only reason I don't have a gun.
Oh yeah. So, gun control, gun rights, things of this nature. This person says, you know what? I don't have a gun, and the only reason I don't is because I'd be irresponsible. Okay. Well, I'm glad you recognize that and you don't have a gun for that reason, but let's watch.
If they start to draft women, the second they hand me a gun, I'm shooting bitches around me. The only reason I don't have a gun right now, even though I'm legally allowed to buy a gun, because the minute someone pisses me off, I will shoot them. I will shoot. You give me an easy solution, I'm going to fucking do it.
Okay, I'm sorry for the cussing. I'm so sorry for the cussing. But you know, people, it's hard to find videos where they don't use curse words. I apologize for that. But first of all, I'm glad that you don't have a gun because clearly the elevator's not going all the way to the top floor. You're a few crayons short of a whole 64 count box. Okay, you're a few trees short of a forest. You're not all the way there. If you go like that, it's going to be like dice rolling. It's going to be that kind of sound on your noggin. You got 2 brain cells and they're about to be on the way out. But anyway, now, if there's a draft, if there's anything involving you and the government, they're going to watch this video and say, you know what? Let's not have her anywhere near the government. Okay, we don't need anybody like that taking a time bomb. And plus, you're a woman. Like, we're a ways away from drafting this individual to go try and fight some kind of war. This ain't 1945 no more. It's 2026. We're not going to need this meat grinder type activity from normie citizens like yourself. So you're totally fine. Don't worry about it. You know, enjoy your Starbucks. Enjoy laying in the bed at 2 p.m. in the afternoon on a Tuesday. Don't worry about it. It's totally fine. And I'm glad. Listen, I love the introspection. I love the self-realization. I like that. That's a good thing. Very good thing. Now, speaking about alternative lifestyles, maybe LGBT, all that kind of stuff. This is a Democratic Arizona Senator, Catherine Miranda, lashing out at a student athlete over not wanting to compete against a biological male since they're a female. Let's watch. And let's let it rock.
I've played against girls that look like you. You look very much in shape and strong. But it's a sports mentality when you're growing up and how much competition that you'll take on. So it's not just a silver bullet for one community of sports players. It's the individual person on how competitive you want to be. So you grew up one way. I grew up a different way. I would have taken on a man in a heartbeat. I played in, I was the only girl sometimes in men's sports. But to have a man on my team, I would have welcomed it. But this is just my opinion. So it just depends on the sports mentality of that individual. And that's why this bill is bad, because you're just putting a whole community of women's sports in one category. When women like me, we have a different opinion. So how competitive do you think you really are?
Wow, that was a lot. So, are you competitive? Are you truly competitive if you're a woman and you don't want to compete against a man in sports? Now, listen, I don't care how progressive you are. I don't care how forward-thinking you believe you are. At the end of the day, if you're a woman trying to compete against a man, you're at a disadvantage. You want to try to play football or something like that? Well, good luck with that. Good luck with that. Hey, get hit one time by a man. It's guys that get hit in football and they're not right ever again. You want to be a woman doing that? Good luck. A woman playing against men in basketball? Good luck. What sport were you playing where you were the only girl? And what did you play? Were you the kicker on the NFL? Like NFL. Were you the kicker on a football team? Did you play softball or something like that with the guys? And then did you go to locker rooms with the guys? Were you the only girl in the male locker room? Don't tell that lie. And do you think it's okay for a girl's locker room, all girls, to have a man in there? Okay, imagine you're in high school, you're 15, 16 years old. Here comes this 18-year-old adult male with his full body parts. He's 6'4" in your locker room. What do? You're at a disadvantage, you're in danger, and it's unfair. You're being snooped on, you're being spied on by this adult male. It's not right. So I think if you are of rational mind, you would be against men and or boys in women and or girl sports. Common sense, right? But hey, nowadays common sense ain't too common. But shout out to her and shout out to you guys for knowing what the actual truth is here. Okay, now, y'all know this is going to be Zohran Mamdani's newly appointed LGBTQ LMNOP office person. And this is a transformer. Okay, this is a transformer. Just so we're on the same page. This is a man with the wig and everything else on. Check it out.
Y'all know too well, the queer community as well as intersecting communities and adjacent communities are under extreme attack in this country from all angles, it seems, from the highest levels of government to society in general, and to even sometimes people that we consider friendly fire, unfortunately. And so now more than ever in this moment, it is so critical, I think, to have trans leadership because we all know.
Okay, I don't know how the words trans and leadership go together. To me, that sounds like confusion. A so-called trans leader sounds like confusion. Like, where are you going? Around in circles? Like, what's happening? But yeah, that is Zohran Mamdani's newest appointee. And I think that's the first transformer in office in New York, I believe. I don't know. Now, going back to New York. So New York City council members propose raising the minimum wage from $17 an hour to $13 an hour. Now listen, I've been speaking on this for a long time. This is kind of an old topic, minimum wage. I've been saying this for years now. If you try to raise the minimum wage to 15, then it's going to be 20, and 25, and 30, and 40, and 100. It'll never end because you are raising wages. You are raising wages artificially. And the more you raise wages, the harder it is for a person with no job or a young person to get into the job market, because the higher the wages, the better employee you attract. So what about the 16-year-old trying to get on? He has to compete with guys that's fully grown adults trying to raise kids. He's not going to be able to compete. The guy that's trying to raise kids has been working that job for 10, 15 years. Here you are, brand new, no experience. How are you even going to get on to that job at all? And then when you raise prices, when you raise wages, you also raise prices. You create inflation. And the small mom and pop shops are going to struggle to survive. But yet, we still keep doing these failed policies, which under a socialist is no surprise. But let's watch.
There are over 1 million New York City workers earning $17 per hour. A full-time worker making $17 per hour brings home after taxes about $2,000 a month.
$30 an hour is something Councilmember Sandy Nurse says people can't afford to wait for.
The wages are too damn low and the cost of living is too damn high.
Under the current $17 an hour minimum wage, some New Yorkers like Joelle, an Amazon worker, have had to make tough choices.
Then I had to choose each month if I was going to do groceries or pay bills, if I was going to pay my phone or my internet.
Nurse's legislation would see a gradual increase to $30 an hour by 2030. A spokesperson for the mayor says they will review it.
We know we're going to have to help everyday New Yorkers who keep this city moving. And so, yes, we need to tax the rich, and we have to increase the minimum wage to 30 and 30.
Mac Rosenberg, 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
Okay, now look, let's talk about this for a minute. So he says two things that is really the same thing, if you caught it. He says, we must tax the rich and increase wages. It's the same thing, because if you're a rich person and you have employees who are being paid $17 an hour or whatever the dollar amount is, below 30, they could be getting paid 22, 23, 24. Now it's got to be 30. Okay. That's a tax right there, because I didn't want to pay that. I can't really afford it, but now I got to pay it. So in order to be able to pay that, I must increase my cost of goods and services to pay. That's a tax right there. And then you want to increase taxes beyond that. It's just, you're making everything so expensive. It's a death by 1,000 cuts. You want to raise this and that and this and that. And by the end of it, you might have raised 8 to 9 to 10 things that I got to pay out of my pocket. And in essence, they're all taxes. So why would I keep doing that in this place? Why not go to Florida like everybody else, or to Tennessee, or to Texas, or somewhere other than here where I'm being taxed literally to death? And then if all the big wigs leave, all the rich leave, then who's left to pay the tab? The middle class. And like I said in my video earlier, all you're going to do is just squeeze middle class. You're going to squeeze them till it ain't nothing left. And then New York City will become Gotham City officially, because it'll be just a wasteland of criminals picking at scraps of what's left. So if your objective is to kill New York City, then you're on the right track, I would say. But hey, they wanted a socialist. They got him. So be it. Enjoy. Okay, now here is Mom Donnie admitting the obvious, that people are leaving because of the very high cost of living, the high taxes, the overall expense of a New York City. Check it out.
Amidst being in the wealthiest city in the wealthiest country in the history of the world, we already see an exodus of working and middle-class New Yorkers. So I don't have a hesitation in asking those who make the most amount of money in the city or the most profits in the city to pay a little bit more so that everyone can actually stay in this city. It's also something not just about justice or the ability for working class people to live here. It is also actually about ensuring that corporations can continue to attract the top talent to this city. Because in a city where childcare costs more than $20,000 a year, I've heard from corporate leaders about how difficult it is for them to attract individuals who would work at their companies but want to raise a family, because you could be making $300,000 a year and you will feel that $20,000 a year because of the fact that we have allowed for the absence of affordable childcare to become reality here in this city.
All right, there we go. You're talking about childcare and stuff like that. It's just expensive overall because it's New York, and you're not doing any. You're making things worse. You're making things worse with all these expenses that you're trying to add on to New York. Already expensive, you want to make it worse. In the name of making things more affordable, you're making things less affordable, obviously. Now, speaking about Zoran, after you had an Allahu Akbar attack right outside the Gracie Mansion where he lives in New York City, the mayor's mansion, here he is having an iftar at the city hall. Okay, now an iftar, what is that? What is an iftar? Because I've seen this. What is an iftar? An iftar is the daily evening meal to break the fast at sunset. Okay, so basically when they eat after their fast for the day is over with.
I'll make sure everybody has something.
Oh, thank you, please.
Wow.
Nice to see you.
Thank you so much. Good to see you. Thank you so much.
You're so I'll make sure everybody has something.
So it's basically serving food to people sitting on the ground on these carpets and stuff like this. Now imagine that's how City Hall look for real, like all the time. People sitting on the ground, the Islamic stuff going on. Now look, if you Muslim, that's your culture, that's fine. But this is the USA. This ain't Bhutan. This is the United States of America. You know, we don't do sandbars and all that kind of good. We do Stars and Stripes, American Eagle, all that. You know, we don't do a lot of we don't do that over here. Okay, now they also had a little prayer in the hall, in the city hall.
Want to make some of that?
A moment where you're asking yourself how you can reconnect to who growing up with, being taught that.
What? Hold on. What was this? Not the Allahu Akbar finger. Not the I'm a jihadist maybe. Not the I got a bomb on my vehicle finger. Not the I got a shrapnel bomb in my hand about to throw like a baseball. Hit you with a little Derek Jeter, you know, a little Alfonso Soriano, little Babe Ruth with the. Am I seeing this or is it? Am I tripping? Allahu Akbar, murder finger goes right up. I'm good. Allahu Akbar. Y'all playing games, man. Y'all being funny too. I know that it don't always mean I'm trying to kill you when you say Allahu Akbar, but you being funny. I don't like stuff like that. No way, Jose. So New Yorkers, good luck. Godspeed and good luck in New York. I'll tell you what. Now, also New York, the crime is a little different because, and you can tell how the crime is due to how they got things locked up in the CVS. All right. Let's go ahead and try to get this video loaded up and rock it. All right, there we go. New York City, what's going on with your crime? The CVS looks like Fort Knox. You got Oreo cookies and whatnot locked up. Now, maybe they think that I'm going to be there at a certain point because they know I'm the cookie monster. And one day in the fit of rage, I might just go to the CVS and just steal all the cookies. Give me a big trash bag. You know what? I have never been a thief, never been a criminal. But if I was to steal one item, if you ask me, hey, ABL, if you could steal one thing in this world, what would it be? There it is right there. Cookies on deck. But let's watch.
I'm not coming to the store no more. This is crazy. This is crazy.
So, yeah, everything's locked up. Now, my question is, what's the point of locking cookies and just peanuts and stuff like that? Do they steal everything in this store? I mean, good grief. If that's going on, I don't even want it. I'll just go order it on Amazon or something like this. If I got to go through all this rigmarole, all these changes, Hey, front desk person, yeah, can I get some Thin Mints? Can I get some Oreo cookies? Can I get some Big Back snacks on GP? Yeah, come on. Open it up for me. Now, I understand if you got like electronics or something like that, some kind of big item. If I go to Home Depot, they might have some landscape equipment behind the thing. Okay, I get it. A leaf blower is kind of expensive, maybe. But a bag of cookies, a box of cookies, no way. No way, Jose. But hey, that's New York for you. But look, again, if I was to be a thief, if I could steal one thing, it'd be cookies. And I would eat myself to death. Hey, you gonna find me at my house, half sleep with a box of Oreos right on my face and one halfway in my mouth. It's like I was mid-chew and passed out. Like, you all right? Yeah, I'm good, man. I had a little, I had a relapse. I don't do no drugs, but the cookies are a drug. Anyway. Now, Atlanta, Georgia. There's an apartment complex fed up with the crime and the violence. So what they're going to do is deploy security dogs. You guys got to see this. You probably have seen this kind of dog before, but not in action. Check it out.
Residents living in the Castleberry Hills neighborhood are fed up with crime, so they tried something new. Robotic security dogs. Fox 5's Denise Dillon is live in Atlanta, where residents say they have found the solution, Denise, to their problem.
Yeah, the solution, robotic dogs like this one that patrols the parking lot inside a gated area and another outside in the perimeter. And they are ready to react if an intruder comes on the property.
The robots operate on the schedule that a security guard would, 8 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Crime-fighting robotic dogs are now patrolling the GE Lofts and the Castleberry Hills neighborhood of Atlanta.
We go to bed, a team logs into our camera systems. They're verifying the alerts that get thrown up on our cameras.
If the team monitoring the cameras sees something suspicious, they send in the dog.
We can have a person on the other side of every robot to go communicate with them, contact authorities, and de-escalate the situation.
Just recently, a man managed to force his way onto the property. Cameras picked up his movements. The dog was deployed. In November, I talked to...
Wait a minute. Imagine you see something like that. Like, what do? You see something like that moving like this, and then the alarm goes off. What do you do? What's your reaction? Watch.
Movements. The dog was deployed. In November, I talked to residents at GE Lofts after these 6 guys, some with guns, were caught on camera in the parking lot. Residents were frustrated, saying they had tried every security measure they could think of. A large gate topped with wire, bright lighting, multiple cameras, and none of it stopped the criminals.
They just methodically went through every vehicle in the parking lot.
After seeing their robotic dog in action, residents believe they finally have a solution.
They're out and alert when we're sleeping in bed and protecting our things and keeping out the scary guys. So far it's a win-win.
So yeah, there we go. So what do you guys think? That's a yay, that's a nay. How does that really work for you? Now they're over in what they say, this is GE Lofts. This is like downtown, Castleberry Hill, that neighborhood. So if you know Atlanta, it's right there off of, what's this? Centennial Olympic Parkway. Ted Turner Drive over there, close to downtown. Okay, you're not far from, like, West Vine City's like right there, like right across the street. And Vine City, that west side, yeah, that's not really where you want to be. They're not in a great neighborhood. So that's just part of the territory. Now, when I go to Atlanta, I never go down to this particular neck of the woods. Not really, not for long. Yeah, that's not really my cup of tea. So they're living out there. They're urban pioneers. They're brave. They're very brave. Like the McCloskeys out there in St. Louis, living in that area where they really probably shouldn't have been. But anyway, let's keep on going. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, people are still not gotten over Jasmine Crockett losing her Senate race, or her Senate primary race in Texas against James Talarico. Now, they want to blame everybody else other than Jasmine, number one. And number two, the Democratic Party because the Democrats did not want Jasmine to succeed. They didn't put any money behind her. They put all the money behind James Tallarico because they see him as the more favorable option to become president one day. They're trying to groom him. That's the bottom line here. Okay. But let's watch this right here. The text from this lady talking about the primary. And then we have some breaking news about Jasmine's security guard who got himself deleted by the police in Dallas. But first things first, let's watch this.
The Texas primary was a self-fulfilling prophecy. People said that Jasmine Crockett wouldn't win. They heavily scrutinized her positions, her experience, her stances, which fed into more people saying she couldn't win. And subconsciously, everyone remembered how this country does not vote for qualified black women. Kamala Harris, Stacey Abrams, I could go on. And so people just kept saying that Jasmine Crockett wouldn't win, and then she didn't. And I'm trying to resolve the paradox here, because why do we keep expecting black women to save us and then not elect them to office? Why are you expecting them to work for free as community organizers at protests where it's very dangerous, but then not give them a salary, a title, and power to actually build up their states, their communities? In watching this campaign, Jasmine Crockett has had to conduct herself perfectly. She's had to answer the same questions, completely unruffled, consistent. I can see how much higher the standard was for her than for her opponent, who doesn't have to deal with the intersection of being a woman and black. And yeah, I'm just wondering, why do even, moderates, even conservatives, keep asking for labor from black people, from black women, and then turn around and say that she's unqualified for office? Georgia could have had Stacey Abrams and the US could have had Kamala Harris. That's all I'm gonna say. The text.
Okay, there's a lot there. There's a whole lot there. Now, first of all, before we get to Jasmine Crockett, Kamala is not black, number one. And I can say that because obviously I'm a black person. Nobody ever says that I'm not really a black guy. Maybe they try to make a joke and say, I love the white man or whatever. No. Let's not. I'm a black man, 100%. Kamala Harris, I don't know how much black is in her, if any. To me, I see somebody from the Indian subcontinent, okay? Your mom is straight 100% Indian, and your dad is at best biracial, at best. So you're about 75, 80% Indian, okay? I'm about 85% African. So we see what's going on. Anyway, she's not black. Stacey Abrams ran a bad campaign. She ran a campaign that was anti-gun in Georgia, where everybody has a gun. It don't matter if you're black, white, Puerto Rican, and candy stripe. Georgia is the South, and Southern tradition, Southern culture is gun ownership. The country was built on gun ownership. She ran a campaign against guns. How are you going to succeed in a place like Georgia? It don't matter. You could be the hoodest black person, the poorest white person, the richest white person, the richest black person, or any other race. Everybody has guns. And Jasmine Crockett had no chance because in Texas, she's not really electable. And the Democratic Party themselves were against her. Then you say that she had no power. Was she not a House rep for a long time? She decided to not run again for that, to try and go higher, but it wasn't her time to go higher. It wasn't her time or the place to go higher. She was where she was. Where she was about much as she's going to be able to do. She has name recognition. People know who she is, but the Democratic Party don't want her. So why are you trying to blame Republican conservatives? It's not our fault. It's her fault and the Democratic Party's fault. Nobody else's. Same thing. Kamala Harris had no chance. They threw her out there and threw her under the bus. She could not put two words together. At her own rallies, her own supporters were booing her. So don't give me this whole black people this, black people that. Nah, if you want to succeed in this country, you must do things to succeed. And if you can't, then it is what it is. Kamala got to be the vice president. Jasmine was a House rep. They tried to go higher and it didn't work. Just like many other white, black, and all other races and men have tried and failed to do the same exact thing that they did. Anyway, so yeah, shout out to her. Now let's keep on moving here. Speaking about Jasmine, her security guard or someone who may have been part of her security detail got himself shot and killed by Dallas police after a standoff.
These images of...
Hold on. And you can see the guy right here. This is the guy. You see Jasmine right there. And then that's the guard right there.
These images of Mike King standing close to Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett shows how trusted he was as part of her security detail while she's been in office and while on the campaign trail during her recent run for a U.S. Senate seat. Multiple law enforcement sources say King was the man shot and killed after a standoff with Dallas police SWAT officers on Wednesday night. Police say he was chased into a hospital parking garage where he barricaded himself inside a vehicle before he was forced out by tear gas and pulled a gun on officers. These images.
So this guy, now I got a full video coming tomorrow, so y'all gonna see a lot more. But this guy was living a double life. Now he had one life where he was a legitimate security guy. He had a company where he would get off-duty cops jobs beyond, their police work. So, okay, let's say there's some kind of function that needs some security or something like that. He would get cops linked to those kind of jobs. But when he was not doing the security work, he was in the streets doing something else. His name was not Mike Lee. His name was, what's his name? Diamond, Daimon dash Mazar, Mazairre Robinson, 39 years old. Mike King is an alias. Okay, so Jasmine Crockett, how did you have this guy this close to you? You are a sitting member of the U.S. House of Representatives. You're in Congress. You are a sitting member of Congress. How did you let this guy who has a criminal background that close to you? Was there a background check here? Like, how did this really work? I don't know, but I'm not quite sure how long he was part of her detail. But the last payment that he got from Jasmine Crockett's people was last year. Okay, that's what happened. And again, he got himself shot and killed by police out there in Dallas, Texas. Now, Jasmine Crockett, I got something to tell you. I got something to tell you right now. I hope for your sake, you and this guy were not doing nothing extra aside from just a professional relationship. I'm not trying to say that she did. I'm not trying to put that out there, but we've seen this kind of thing before with Fonnie Willis and whatnot, funny stuff going on. We saw it with, and it's not just a Democratic thing. We saw it with Kristi Noem, okay, her and Corey Lewandowski, this pimp. Corey Lewandowski, listen, Corey Lewandowski is the worst kind of human being that you have. I mean, just a general pest. I mean, this guy is who, when you say creep in a dictionary, it's Corey Lewandowski's picture right there. Ultimate creep. Hide your kids, hide your wife from Corey Lewandowski. But anyway, I digress. The point is, I hope that you're not doing anything you shouldn't be doing with this guy. I hope not. Okay, let's keep on moving. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Okay, now, look. Let's get to the attack in Norfolk, Virginia, my neck of the woods, ODU, where I went to school from 06 to 07. And the man here, Lieutenant Colonel Brandon Shaw, he attended school the same time I did. He graduated in 07, and I was there in 07. So I'm sure at some point we crossed paths. If I saw a picture of him when he was younger, I might recognize him. But me, I didn't live on campus. I was commuting to school from home. So I go to class and I pretty much be out. I got to go back to the house and get ready for work. So I worked pretty much full time when I was in college. But anyway, let's just watch some of this. Then we're going to get some of the more details.
Evening, Jesse. We continue to learn new details from Norfolk about what happened there. We do know that one victim was killed. 2 others were injured in that shooting at Old Dominion University. The shooter has also been killed. Let me first tell you about the victim in this particular case. It's a lieutenant colonel by the name of Brandon Shaw. He actually led the university's ROTC program. Again, we'll learn much more about him. Here's a guy we're talking about, a real hero. 2 Bronze Stars felled today by the killer, who was identified as former Virginia National Guardsman, 36-year-old Mohammed Baylor Jallo. He has a troubling past, too. He actually pled guilty back in October of 2016 of attempting to provide material support to ISIS. Interestingly, a Bush-appointed judge lowered his sentence from the state's suggested 20 years to just 10. In the sentencing, the judge said, "You have no criminal history. You've been a law-abiding citizen and a member of the National Guard. So I think that the ultimate sentence that I hand down should reflect the good things you have done as well as the horrendous things." Well, he did more horrendous things today. Now,
exactly. So that's a great report from our guy over there at Fox News, Kevin Court. Shout out to you, Kevin, if you're watching. Okay. But that whole thing was really crazy with Lieutenant Colonel Brandon Shaw. Now, let's go back to his medals. He had quite a few medals, quite a few commendations. So Lieutenant Colonel Brandon Shaw was a professor of military science and a leader of the ROTC program at ODU. And that's the Reserve Officer Training Corps. That's a program that gets you ready to be a military officer, which he was. So he was veteran of Operation Iraqi Freedom, Operation Enduring Freedom, and Atlantic Resolve. He has 2 Bronze Stars, Senior Army Aviator Badge, Combat Action Badge, Parachutist Badge, Air Assault Badge, Defense Meritorious Service Medal, Air Medal with Valor, Joint Service Commendation Medal, Army Commendation Medal, and the Joint Service Achievement Medal. So there we go. Okay, Lieutenant Colonel Brandon Shaw, dead at 39 years old, killed by a guy named Muhammad, a radical Islamic extremist who was convicted of providing material support to ISIS in 2017. He was sentenced 11 years with 5 years supervised release. He was let out early in 2024, right before Trump got inaugurated in December 2024, right before Trump came in office. After Trump won, but before he came in office. So was that politically motivated? Maybe, maybe not. I don't really know, but that's what's going on. Now, again, I went to school with him, but I don't know him. You understand? I went at the same time as he did, at the same school, ODU in Norfolk. All right. Now, shout out to the students for taking them down, the shooter, because this happened in class, in the ROTC class. The Muhammad went to the class and said, "Hey, is this ROTC?" And they said, "Yeah," and he opened fire. So he killed the teacher and injured 3 other students, but the students subdued him, and one of them had a knife and stabbed him to death. Look, it's Virginia. You can't just do stuff like that, okay? Like I said, Virginia, we gonna fight. We got weapons. It's whatever, okay? Like I say, always have a knife. Like this right here, my little drawer knife. Come in here if you want to. I got this and I got something else. I got an automatic hole puncher. I got all kind of stuff. So we're going to keep knives on us, and we're going to use them whenever we need to. And we're going to have guns and everything else from Virginia. But let's watch this from Virginia, talking about who subdued him. And shout out to Super Chat right there. Thank you to Shorty Rock, who said, "Love your channel. Keep up the good work." Thank you for that. I appreciate Shorty Rock for the very generous and kind donation. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here.
There were students who were in that room that subdued him and rendered him no longer alive. I don't know how else to say it, but they basically were able to terminate the threat.
So he was not shot?
He was not shot.
He shot 3 people?
Correct. We have information that he shot 3 people.
So there we go. Now, she couldn't say that they killed him because that's a thing that could be legally damaging. But what they did was they stopped the threat. That's what they did by taking the knife and hitting him with it. Now, I have the knife. If you guys didn't see it in the video, I have the knife. Let me put it up right quick. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff that'll help me out tremendously. Let me get a knife up right quick. There it is. Okay, and here we are. So that's it right there. That's the knife that they used. Nice knife, very nice. I have a knife like that. I got a K-bar, but it ain't quite like that. I need one of those. Yeah, just for the collection. I got a bunch of knives. I have like, I probably got about 12 knives in the collection. I got some gas. Look, if you ever go to a gas station and they got knives in a display case and you're asking, "Hey, who's buying those knives?" ABL, that's who's buying the knives. But I have some nice knives as well. Not necessarily gas station knives. I got some nice ones as well. But I need that right there. Okay, I need that particular one that killed a terrorist. I need that in my collection for sure. Okay, let's keep on going here. And this right here, this moment, I'm gonna show you was the craziest part, where the Commonwealth attorney, what's this guy's name? Ramin Fatahi, Fatehi, Ramin Fatehi. He says the issue here is not necessarily the radical Islamic extremists who got out of prison early, who shouldn't have been let out. And if you did get let out, he should have been sent back to where he's from, Sierra Leone, and not allowed to still stay in the country as a naturalized citizen. He's saying the issue was the guns. Okay, let's watch this. And you can see his face off the rip and tell that his take on guns will not be a good one. And the man behind him, that's Brian Hemphill. He's the president of ODU, I believe. Let me make sure I'm saying the right thing. ODU president is Brian Hemphill. That's correct. So shout out to him.
National sickness. We live in a country where people care more about guns than they care about 6-year-old children. They care more about guns than they care about synagogue worshipers. And they care more about guns than they do about college students. What that means is that it does not matter how hard President Hemphill works, how hard the chiefs work, somebody will be a victim eventually. It is a matter of time. And until there is the political will to break the spell of the cult of gun absolutism, you will see more incidents like this. So if you're looking for somebody to blame, don't look at anybody up here. Look at our lawmakers who don't have the courage to implement sensible gun control measures. Look to a Supreme Court that enables them, and do something about it. So that is the lesson. Let's mourn the people who have died. Let's decry what has happened, but let's keep the focus where it belongs. It belongs on us and having to change something so that we don't have to suffer through this.
No. How about not? This is Virginia. We don't do stuff like that. We're not going to relinquish our guns. Now, maybe you could do that, Mr. Fatahi, wherever you're from, but in VA, we don't do that. As a lifelong, historically, Virginia native, family being here for hundreds of years, we don't do that. We're not going to do that. Okay? We will not be abused by the government. We will not be abused by like you. We will not be abused by anyone. We will not be a victim. And you know what? Talking about gun laws, let's talk about gun laws. Matter of fact, that's a great topic you brought up. I'm glad you brought it up, Mr. Fatahi. I'm glad you brought laws up because watch this. So this character right here, this fine Rhodes Scholar, this rocket scientist is named Kenya Chapman. Okay. Now he stole the weapon that the Muhammad used in the murder of Lieutenant Colonel Brandon Shaw and sold it to him for $100 US American dollars. Okay. So look, let me zoom in right quick. Kenya Chapman is facing federal charges after a connection to the sale of a stolen weapon to Mohammed Bello Jallo, a former Army National Guard member who yelled "Allahu Akbar" before he opened fire in the classroom at the Virginia school on Thursday. Okay, that's him. Laws? I thought it was illegal to steal a weapon. Well, he did it. I thought it was legal to not only steal a weapon, but then sell it illegally, like a straw. And it's not even a straw purchase because he didn't buy the gun. He stole the weapon and sold it. That whole thing right there, you violating multiple laws. But yet it still happened. So when we're talking about laws, it don't affect criminals. All you're going to do is affect regular, everyday civilians. And why would you do that if your purpose is to make it be a separate place in Virginia? Why would you pass laws that only hurt the people who follow the law? It makes no sense. It makes zero sense. $100 the stolen gun was sold for. And that's all it took. Gun control, gun laws, we got laws on the books. What are we talking about here? What exactly are we talking about? I don't know. Maybe the thought process is you could just, with a magic wand, and all the guns will just vanish from society. That's not how it works. You got, on a conservative estimate, 300 million guns in the wild in the hands of regular everyday people. And most of them, if you ask, hey, do you have any guns? Do you want to give them up? What guns? What guns? I don't know what you're talking about. What guns? My guns, hey, go get them. Bottom of the Tennessee River. It was a tragic boating accident. The guns are gone. They sunk to the bottom. If you can dredge the river and get all the water out, maybe you might get one back. But beyond that, I don't know what to tell you. I don't got nothing for you. Okay, now, in a place where there are no guns, you're gonna have stuff like this going. You're gonna have this is over in UK. Okay, you're gonna have this kind of behavior happening.
I can't tell if that's real. That is fucking real, bro. They're actual knives. What are they doing? Oh shit! It's not a ruler, it's an actual knife. Bro, they're knives. I don't know.
Can you move? Can you move? Can you move? Can everyone in? Come on, quick.
Bro.
Quick, inside. Come on. Come on inside.
It's a knife, isn't it? It's a knife, isn't it? Come on. It's a knife. You see? And you're going to also import a bunch of the Islamic people with no guns, but you got knives. So we're going back to the old, we're regressing back to the old days when everything was by the sword. Okay, everything was you get cut up by the sword. And there was quite a bit of violence happening when it was only sticks and stones and then swords. And sword is a lot more brutal. Hey, get cut with a sword and say you like that. And they might put some more in that sword and infect you. Man, it'd be painful. Hey, man, if I got to pick, like theoretically, hypothetically, between getting shot like in the shoulder or stabbed in the shoulder, hey, man, just go ahead and shoot me in the shoulder. I don't want to get stabbed because that's going to be a whole different level of pain and all kind of stuff I don't want to deal with. But we're going back in time. We're going back to the sword play. All right. Okay. I guess that's better than gunplay. I can't tell. I cannot tell. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Now, speaking about going back to the Stone Age, yet another Muhammad, I'm not making this up. His name is Ayman Muhammad Ghazali. I don't see the point in having all the extra names around Muhammad. Just say Muhammad. Okay, now I don't know how they're going to identify you because at a certain point, everybody got the same name. All right, like if you go into school, let's say you're a teacher in a class, right? And you got 10 guys named Muhammad in the same class. At a certain point, it's like, okay, you Muhammad number 1, Muhammad number 2, and you should wear like a little button on your jacket that says what number you are. Number 1, number 2, number 3. Yeah. And if you are not an extremist and you have good behavior, you get to be Captain Muhammad, like the NFL players with the little C on their chest and the stars. So you get number 1 with a C. You start to get like little chest bags, like you in the military. But anyway, this guy did an attack on a synagogue in Michigan.
What we know about.
Okay, Muhammad number 4,795. All right, let's check it out. This is going to be CBS News.
What we know about the man behind that attack just described, who he was, how he came to America. Let's bring in Usher Qureshi. Good evening, Usher.
Good evening, Tony. Well, CBS.
Usher. I'm like, is he saying Usher? Like Usher Raymond? Yeah. Like, is he saying that? Usher Qureshi. That is a name. But at least it ain't Muhammad. But anyway, let's start from the top.
And Usher Qureshi. Good evening, Usher.
Good evening, Tony. Well, CBS News is learning more about Ayman Muhammad Ghazali tonight. Overnight, federal agents raided his home behind me. Just 2 days before the synagogue attack, Ghazali, seen here on this security video, bought more than $2,000 worth of fireworks.
I'm Muhammad. I want by the firework. I want by the firework. Yes, I must spend $2,000 and pay in cash. I got the big beard, no mustache. A lot of what bar. I'm sorry, what was that? Anyway, that ain't a red flag. Hey, check it out. Listen, now I'm not Islamophobic. I'm not racist or nothing. But if I am a cashier at a store and I see a big beard Muhammad buying this, I'm calling the police. I'm calling the feds. Like, yo, Trump, we might got one, man. This dude in here bought all the fireworks. He bought a big bomb. He got on all black with a big beard. Something ain't right. Something is not right.
Tonight, the FBI confirmed that fireworks were found in the truck. Ghazali was born in Lebanon and entered the U.S. legally in 2011 on a spousal visa, becoming a U.S. citizen 5 years later. He lived alone in Dearborn Heights, just down the block.
He came here on a spousal visa, but lived alone. Hey, you got 2 strikes, bro. You buying fireworks by the boatload with a big beard, all black on. You came here on the marriage visa. You never heard no more. You probably got divorced immediately. That's called immigration fraud, but let's keep on going.
From his job at this restaurant. Now, on March 5th, family members, including Ghazali's two brothers, niece, and nephew, were killed when an Israeli drone attack struck their village in Lebanon, leaving him distraught, according to community members. A local journalist in Lebanon spoke to villagers who claimed Ghazali's brothers were members of Hezbollah's rocket unit, but would not provide their names. Now, Dearborn Heights Mayor Mo Beydoun said this afternoon that while Ghazali recently suffered a tragedy, there is no excuse for violence. He also pledged support for the local Jewish community.
There we go. So his family members were in Hezbollah, and some family got killed after an Israeli attack. Now, my question would be, if you got family in Hezbollah and other family was killed by an Israeli attack, were they killed because of the proximity to the Hezbollah people? Is that what happened? Did your family reside in a rocket launch site? I'm just asking because y'all do that quite a bit over there. The rockets be right next to a school or something like this. So then when the Israelis hit, oh, you had the civilians right in the rocket launcher facility. That's your fault. But anyway, let's keep going. Here's Jake Tapper and his infinite wisdom on CNN talking about the attack we just saw with the guy who bought all the fireworks in the building and said Allah Akbar. I'm just playing. Let's watch this.
We're seeing the real-life consequences to the elevation and platforming and legitimizing of anti-Semitic voices. To be crystal clear, we do not know the motivations of the attacker, this would-be mass murderer of Jews. We don't know their political views. But the Overton window, the measure of acceptable discourse, has opened to some of the most hateful anti-Semitic voices out there on the left and the right. We're seeing the real-life.
Okay, there we go. So you don't know why this happened. You don't know what's going on. You don't know the motive. Now, is it about platforming anti-Semitic voices, as you call it, or is it about Muslims committing terror attacks per usual? This ain't nothing new. So now you got to blame people who didn't do it. We got to blame, so people who just say things, we're responsible for what they do as far as the actual action of hurting people and killing people. Is that what we're doing now, Jake Tapper? CNN sucks, per usual. Let's keep going. Now, when I watch people on TV, I want them to have their brain cells intact. I want there to be something upstairs that makes sense. Okay? Because, again, sometimes when they go like that, you're hearing dice rolling. You're not hearing any kind of brain matter up there. And if there is brain matter, the brain matter is not mattering very well. But let's watch this about the attack.
This situation, this was an Israeli temple. It was aligned with Israel. I will say that.
A Jewish temple?
A Jewish temple.
A Jewish synagogue is not an Israeli temple.
It's called the real Israel temple.
They're Jewish.
Okay.
They're the people of Israel.
How do you just finish my point? So
it was wrong from the premise. They're not Israeli. They're Jewish.
So they're called the real Israeli temple, yes? And they do align with Israel and their beliefs. So this situation.
Okay, see, look, this is what I'm talking about. Morons on TV talking. Okay, it's called the real Israel temple. That does not mean it's Israeli. Okay, now, there's a church where my ancestors went in West Virginia. It's called African Zion Baptist Church. Okay, now, this is a place with Black Americans, not Africans. It's not an African church. It's a Black church. Okay, it's a difference. It's called the real Israeli temple, but it's not necessarily like Israeli. They just happen to call it that. It's a Jewish place with that name. You see, look, if you're going to be on TV talking, you got to be a little bit intelligent. We can't have these morons, mouth breathers on TV just saying anything. That's just not what we do. Or, I mean, we do it. We shouldn't be doing it. Okay, so shout out to my man right here. Okay, nice glasses, bro. Okay, I see you. I see your vision. But he had to just tell her, it's not Israeli. This happened to be Jewish. Okay, that's just what it is. Now, if it was an Israeli consulate, that's different. That represents the Israeli government. That ain't the same thing as a church having a name or a synagogue having that name. That's just not what that means. All right, just so we on the same page, so we understand each other. Okay, I don't want to be no confusion here. Now, since 9/11, guess how many terrorist attacks there have been all over the world. Since September 11, 2001, guess how many terror attacks there have been all over the world? All right, let's watch.
Since 9/11 alone, just since 9/11, there have been over 48,000 Islamic terrorist attacks in over 70 different countries. 48,000 among 70 different countries. Just for a little piece of context, if you took all of the other religions, 10,000 other religions, and combine the attacks that came from each of those religions, you still wouldn't even be close to just this one. We could all come together and agree easily. This doesn't reflect all Muslims. I am Muslim, or I know Muslims, and that's not how we operate. That's not how most of us think. But that, right, that fact doesn't change those other facts. The problem, though, is that it's not really a loud conversation in which these peaceful, wonderful, neighborly Muslims aren't condemning the behavior of those mentioned prior. Like Mayor Mamdani, he doesn't condemn these attacks when they happen. My dad's best friend, Sammy, is Muslim. They both follow me on here, so hi to both of you. And I've told him straight up, the issue isn't the fact that you're Muslim, so you're instantly bad. The issue is that whenever a terrorist attack happens, you don't say anything.
Exactly. One thing about the Muslims who are peaceful, many of them don't speak out against the terrorists. It's like the terrorists do their dirty work for them so they could just wipe their hands clean. Oh, it's not me, I'm peaceful. But then when something happens, you won't say nothing about it because you kind of agree with it, but you don't want to do it yourself. Yeah, 48,000, and that's probably a low number. That's a low estimate because there have been a bunch of attacks that may have gone unreported, or things that have been thwarted, or plots that have happened, all kind of things that have gone on in the name of Islam over the past few years. And it's not stopping. So when people say, oh, is this to blame? Is that to blame? Is that to blame? When do you stop and say, you know what? Maybe just maybe it's Islam. There's a problem with it. There's an issue there. And I'm not trying to say that Islam is the only religion that has problems. Of course I'm not. But naming the religion that in the name of their religion, they commit these attacks. You can say that a Christian person may do something, but do they do it in the name of Jesus? Does a Jewish person kill in the name of their religion? Is that what happens? With the Muslims, when they do these terror attacks, it's always in the name of Allah. Allahu Akbar is what they say before. I never heard nobody say God is great and then bomb elementary school. But I have seen that from the Muslims. It's just that simple. And if you Muslim watching, shout out to you. I am not speaking about you if I'm not speaking about you. But if I am, take what I say to heart and change your ways. All right. Take what I say to heart and change your ways. Let's keep on going. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, this is going to be a rally in Dearbornistan, aka Dearborn, Michigan. Okay, where you got quite a few Muslims who have been imported there. When you import a particular part of the world, you will become that part of the world. Check it out.
Not a great look. The mayor condemned it. The White House condemned it. But what about Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib? She reps Dearborn. Is she okay with her constituents chanting death to America? Fox Business correspondent Hillary Vaughn asked her. Watch.
Congresswoman Tlaib.
Fox News. I don't talk to Fox News.
At a rally in your district, people were chanting death to America. Do you condemn?
I do not talk to Fox News.
But do you condemn chants of death to America?
I don't talk to people that use racist tropes.
Why can't you just say whether or not you condemn people chanting death to America? Why are you afraid to talk to Fox?
Fox News is not listen, using racist tropes towards my community is what Fox News is about, and I don't talk to Fox News.
Is death to America racist?
Fox News.
Is chanting death to America racist?
I'm talking about your guys' racist tropes. You know, you guys know exactly what you do. I know you're Islamophobic, but you guys got to go deal with it on your own self. You're not going to use me.
Okay, so the question was, do you condemn the Death to America chants in your district, Ms. Tlaib, in Michigan, in Dearborn? Do you condemn it? I'm talking to Fox News. You guys are racist. Oh, okay. Now, will you go to your social media? Will you go anywhere and say that? I don't think so. The whole "you guys are racist" is an excuse to avoid accountability, per usual. No surprise there from Rashida Tlaib, member of the squad. Okay, let's keep on going here. Now, this guy's going to give an outline of what he wants as far as Islam in the West, and it's not a very good look. But let's hear it from him.
I want to see every single woman in this country covered from head to toe. I want to see the hand of the thief cut. I want to see adulterers stoned to death. I want to see Sharia law in Europe, and I want to see it in America as well.
The only thing I would say is that in America and in the United Kingdom, democracy,
backwards one,
but it's a system that allows the people to choose what they want and allows people freedom.
So why can't I choose Sharia? When in Rome, overthrow Caesar, implement the Sharia.
In your home, you can do whatever you want.
But what about in the public? Why can't I tell you to cover up? Am I free to say that?
Because it would be outrageous.
So where's my freedom? Where's my freedom?
You can say it to me, but
okay, so cover up. Wear the hijab.
That's absurd.
Okay, now, I don't know what kind of IQ we got going on here, what kind of inbreeding we got going on, but freedom of speech does not mean you have the freedom to compel a person to do something. You can say your opinion. I think you should cover up. That's my opinion. Okay, that's fine. Have your opinion. You can say, I think that the sunshine should always have rainbows in the sky. That's fantastic. What you going to do to actually make it happen? Nothing. Same thing with trying to tell somebody they should wear a hijab or whatever. You can't actually implement that. You can't actually enforce that because we have freedom here. We're not going to be up under your Sharia law. Now, if you want Sharia law, that's your right to want that, but it's not going to actually happen. Okay? I want to be Bill Gates. I want to have all Bill Gates money. Take all of Bill Gates money, put it in my account. I can want that. I have the right to say that right now on these interwebs. But if I go try to withdraw some money from his account to make it happen, I'm going to the penitentiary to make big rocks to little rocks. Same thing as him. If you try to force the hijab and the beekeeper outfit, the trash bag outfit, the poncho, the Busch Gardens rain poncho, if you try to put that on somebody without their permission, that's called assault, battery, and you're going to prison. As simple as that. If you want to do that without being punished for your crimes, then go to Boot-Headistan, Green Hillistan, All Sandistan. Go there and do that, not here in the USA. It's just that simple. Just that simple. But anyway, yeah, shout out to him and shout out to the young lady interviewing. Now, have you guys seen this? Now, when I first saw this, I was confused. I'm like, what's this, Trump? Like, what are we doing with this cardboard cutout? But then I learned more details. Now, first, what we're going to do is show a cardboard tribute to the Ayatollah Khamenei, I believe. And then we're going to see why he did that. Okay?
And it's very cool. Isn't that great? Just went up yesterday. Wow. And it's very cool.
Now, I was wondering why he did this. Why did Trump, hold on, why did Trump, I'm going to just pull a bit of sound off. Why did Trump unveil this cardboard cutout picture of Ayatollah Khamenei? And why does it look like that? What's going on? I had no idea the context. But what happened was, in Iran, they had a cardboard cutout of him. Well, actually, I think that might have been the new guy. Because Khamenei, he dead, and then his son, who is allegedly, I don't know, injured or something like this, he replaced him. But during a ceremony, they used a cardboard cutout because he was nowhere to be seen. I don't know if he's dead, in the coma, injured, or whatever, but I'm going to show you some context so we're on the same page here. Okay. Just to show, he did not make that up. That's not a clever pun. This really happened. Let's watch. Hold on, let's get some sound.
On March 9th in Tehran, a loyalty rally was held for the newly appointed supreme leader, Mojtaba Khamenei. However, Mojtaba himself did not show up. Instead, a cardboard cutout of him was presented. Large crowds of supporters and members of the Revolutionary Guard surrounded this cardboard leader, waving flags and chanting slogans. The scene was absurd to the extreme, quickly becoming a viral meme on the internet. In Chinese culture, paper figures are typically used in funeral rites, making Iran's cardboard leader a dark, ironic twist. Chinese netizens joked, "Paper figures are a Chinese tradition. We shouldn't let Iran get ahead. We need to catch up and make a few cardboard figures for Xi Jinping as well."
So that's a context right there. Since the new leader, the new supreme leader, the old leader's son, could not show up for the celebration, he used a cardboard cutout. I'm not making this up. That's what they did. So that picture is what Trump used for the cardboard cutout in the White House. See, there's context there. Okay, there is context there. That is crazy. Hey, you got a new leader ceremony with no new leader. All you got is a cardboard cutout instead. That's crazy. So yeah, shout out to him. I don't know where he's at, but I think from what I read, he might be in the coma, clinging to life because he got hit with an airstrike, but he survived the airstrike. He just didn't die yet. From what it's just like South Park, exactly. I can't pronounce your name. Just like South Park. That's why it's came to my mind right away. In real life, like, you know how they do sometimes where they put like a real person's face on the animation, like a still picture. That's how it is. But that happened in real life. That's not a joke. Okay, let's keep on rocking and rolling here. We got a few more to get into. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, TSA, have you guys been traveling? I don't suggest you travel right now because, hey, it's going to be a while. If you're going to travel, if you must travel, be ready. Go to the airport early, 4 hours early, because TSA, hey, man, you're going to be waiting. Because the DHS has been shut down by the Democratic Party, per usual. Okay, so people are not showing up because they're not getting paid. Now, they'll get the money on the back end, but meanwhile, bills are still got to get paid. If you're not getting your money and you're going to work, you got to spend your time more wisely if you got bills. Like, let's say, okay, you're not getting the check and your rent is due. Your mortgage, rent, your light, water, whatever you got is due. You got to do something else in the meantime to be able to make money because what else is going on? If you're able to stay on without getting paid, shout out to you. You're a real one, but everybody can't do that. Now, let's go here talking about the TSA. TSA. Here's a former Utah TSA employee saying, look, I had to quit because I had to pay bills. I got to do something else in this time that actually pay money rather than working at TSA.
TSO's transportation safety officers have some difficult decisions to make. Why did you decide to leave?
I take care of other family members within our family, and we support some of our other family members, and working such a stressful job and not receiving a paycheck, I had to finally make that decision to say, I need to find something that's stable, that's going to help me take care of my family. And so I made that decision painfully. I worked hard. I loved that job. It was a great job. I love my fellow coworkers. But when you're not getting paid, you have to make those difficult decisions.
TSO.
Exactly. Let's keep going here. And if you are working still TSA without getting paid, God bless you. I know it's difficult to do that because bills still got to get paid regardless. People don't really care about what you're going through. All right, let's watch this. So all over the place, you can see the airport, the wait times, Houston, ATL, Nashville, New Orleans. There's going to be a lot going on.
Now is Deputy TSA Administrator Adam Stahl. Adam, thanks very much for joining us this weekend. Can you assess the impact of a shutdown of the Department of Homeland Security for us?
Yeah, absolutely. The impacts have been significant, both financially, operationally, as well as for our workforce. Significant financial impacts, and they're frustrated, to be completely candid. They can't pay their bills. They can't pay for childcare. And so it's having wide-ranging impacts across the economy for the traveling public as well as for our workforce as well.
Well, I mean, what about security? Are you changing certain programs at certain airports and making us less safe in some ways?
Now, the security integrity of the system is very much intact, but there will be impacts, of course, to operations. We've already seen, elongated wait times, 3-4 hour wait times in Houston, New Orleans, Atlanta, and the like. And so if Senate Democrats don't come to the table, this will get worse. It's not a matter of if, it's more when. And so we really need, again, Senate Democrats to come to the table so we can refund TSA, DHS, and get money back into our workers' pockets.
All right, there we go. So shout out TSA. If you're still working, God bless you. I know it's difficult in this time. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling here. Now, I'm going to kind of do a shift here. It's going to be Bill Maher. I did check it. He didn't do no nasty cussing or nothing like this, but he's talking about EVs. Okay, now, I think about EVs. There are so many variables with the electric vehicle. It doesn't make sense, in my opinion, to get one. If you like your EV, you enjoy it, it works for you, then fantastic. But for me, I don't really see how it'd be better than my gas-powered vehicle. Let's watch this.
Gas prices are climbing because of the Iran situation. Do you think moments like this permanently push people toward electric vehicles, or is it just a short-term reaction? I mean, I've had one for a while. I mean, once you have one, it just seemed barbaric going to a gas station. You just never want to do that again.
Yeah, it's just a short-term reaction.
I got to pause right quick for copyright because they like to do copyright on stuff like this. But is it a short-term reaction, the EV? What's going on?
It's just a short-term reaction, in my opinion.
Really?
Yeah. I think the problem now, eventually the technology will get better, battery lives will get better, but, you know, I want to get into a car, know that I could drive it 300 miles, and don't have to have my fingers crossed that I can recharge it and have it take 2 hours if I do.
Lloyd, mine goes 360.
Okay. I'd like to. Then I know to get away, I'll need to go 400 miles that day.
Exactly. There we go. Now, is that? Hold on, big boy. I know who I think it is. Is that the mooch right there? Is that Anthony Scaramucci? What rock did you crawl out from under, bro? I ain't seen you in years. I thought you were dead. All right, mooch, getting some TV time. Shout out to you. But as far as EVs are concerned, if you like it, I love it. But personally, the recharge time is too long. I can fill up my F-150 in less than 5 minutes. I can put the pump on, let it run, go in the store, get me a drink and some gum, bag of chips, come back, and it's done. I'll be on my way. You got a Cybertruck, any kind of regular sedan, EV, you're going to be a while, 45 minutes on the low end to fill your battery up. If the battery fails, it's going to be a very big expense. If it's too hot or too cold, it might not run properly. There's going to be some issues with an electric vehicle as of right now. And you want to call yourself trying to charge at home with these rising electricity costs due to all the data centers because everybody wants to use AI all the time and they want to doom scroll on TikTok. Okay, you're going to pay a hefty amount of money for your electricity. So the whole, I'm going to save money, I can't tell. How you going to save money? And even if you don't pay a lot per kilowatt hour straight from your outlet, well, let me rephrase. Even if you don't necessarily pay more, actually you will pay more per kilowatt hour, even if you don't recognize it, because it'll be an overall larger electricity bill due to the demand on the power companies, on the power plants. There's such a demand for electricity overall because data centers, electric vehicles, all kinds of stuff that you're going to pay more for power overall. All right. Now let's watch this. Her electricity bill. This is going to be the same story all over the nation. Very, very, very high electricity bills when they should not be high.
Let's see what this month's electric bill is. Last month it was $527, and that was before the snowstorm. $626.05. Unbelievable. Honestly, I'm a little relieved because I was thinking it was probably going to be at least $800. $626 fucking dollars for an electric bill. My energy usage. Okay, so I have a base monthly electric charge of $25. Then my energy usage, $134.48. Then the electric power recovery charge, $459.58.
What's that mean? Okay, your usage is like $100 and something dollars. It's like a regular amount. What is the recovery charge? What is that?
For a grand total of $619.06, county tax of $1.50, state consumption tax of $5.49, total amount due $626.05. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. $626 fucking dollars.
There we go. So I'm not quite sure she has a big house, small house, or whatever. And again, sorry for the cussing. I don't know if there's a big house, small house, but I don't think it's a big house. I think it's just the power companies are having to charge more because of all the demand on the grid. It's simple. And the demand is being driven by data centers because everyone wants their AI. They want their TikTok doom scrolling. They want all of that to be on all the time. They want video games. You know, everybody playing video games. They want to play Fort Watch overnight, whatever. They want to do all that kind of stuff. It's placing a big strain on the grid. And California is leading the charge and stuff like this because they want to put more EVs on the grid, more electricity, but electricity is just not free. It doesn't just come from nowhere. Okay. You got to have an energy source. You got to have something that is going to fuel the power grid. You get something that's going to fuel it. You got to, it's going to cost. Now, let's keep on going here. Let's keep going. Now, Marco says, hey, if you want to leave the USA, you want to denounce your citizenship, we're going to make that very easy for you. We're going to cut the price down from like $2,300 to like $850. If you want to denounce your citizenship, you want to leave the USA, it's racist, sexist, whatever. Okay, no problem. Go ahead and check it out.
I've said this repeatedly. I don't know why it's so hard for some to comprehend it, so let me repeat it again. A visa, no one's entitled to a visa. There is no constitutional right to a visa. Okay, a visa is a permission to enter our country as a visitor. If you enter our country as a visitor, and as a visitor in our country, be it a student, a tourist, a journalist, whatever you want to be, and you undertake activities that are against the national interest and national security of the United States, we will take away your visa. In fact, if we knew you were going to do it, we probably wouldn't have given you your visa. I've said this repeatedly.
All right, there we go. So shout out to Marco. Shout out Big Marco. Our next president, hopefully. All right. I got a little bit of time left. I got a few more that I wanted to get to before we get to anywhere else. Okay, give me 1 second here. And
when there's 11 million people in custody.
This is about I think I already played this. I already played that. Yeah, I did. Oh, this guy got deported to Britain, to UK. You got deported, isn't it? Oh, cracky, you got deported. Anyway, this guy got deported to the United Kingdom.
Online.
He says it sucks. It's a dump. He says that the UK sucks. It's a dump. I hate that I got deported here from the good old US of A. Let's watch.
Unlawful presence after learning that I was unlawfully present. I should have been deported. In the summer or early autumn of last year, I was arrested, detained, and deported by Immigrations and Customs Enforcement in Chicago. I was actually on the way to the airport heading to a friend's wedding. I'd just gotten in an Uber on the way to the airport from my apartment. They had a specific warrant for me. I wasn't picked up in a raid. They came looking for me. They knew my work schedule. They'd been monitoring me. This one I took as I was in ICE custody. And then those are actually these pants right here. From there, I was taken to a county jail where I was detained in a cell with maybe 40 other detainees. I was there for 3 weeks. Then I was loaded onto an American Airlines flight and taken to London Heathrow Airport, at which point I was released.
Ted,
who's asked us to change his name, is a British national, but his parents took him to live in the US as a child without proper documentation.
So my first removal order was when I was 12 years old, 2013.
Despite his deportation, he does still support Trump's immigration policies.
I'm gonna pause right there. Now, I like him. He supports immigration policies. I like him. But my question is, why did they look for you specifically? Why were they monitoring you? What happened? Did you commit some kind of crime when you were here? Anyway, let's keep on going.
Unlawful presence after learning that I was unlawfully present, right? I'm not making excuses. I should have been deported. There is an illegal immigration crisis in America, and any president who wants a lawfully ordered nation has the right and the duty and the obligation to enforce deportation. And yet with what just happened in Minnesota, you saw these leftist agitators that were impeding law enforcement. They were obstructing the enforcement of the law in attempts to detain and deport illegal immigrants, especially criminal illegal immigrants. And what Trump did is he pulled the Department of Homeland Security out of Minnesota. I think, if anything, if he were being consistent with his policies, he should have brought in the National Guard and doubled down.
I don't know. This guy kind of giving me it's a little weird. Now, I like the fact that he says that the policies are good, but part of me is like, you're trying to say that to try and come back. I don't know. That's me being cynical and not believing anybody. But something else. When Trump had left Minnesota, the job was done. He was there to accomplish a task, and then it was over with. There's no need to keep staying there when you don't have to. It was successful. You got a bunch of guys off the street, a bunch of illegal alien criminals. You were able to go do a task, complete it, and move on to the next place. So that's that. But even a person who was here illegally and got deported can say that he supports deportation efforts. And he's saying, yo, go even further, and places like Minnesota, keep going. Yeah, it's okay. It's totally fine. And yeah, somebody asked, he was born in UK. He was brought here as a child, and he got deported in 2012. I mean, when he was 12 years old. Now, my question is, I got two questions. Why was he deported at that time? And why was he singled out for deportation this time? It wasn't a traffic stop, wasn't like that. They followed him, they surveilled him, and then they picked him up. But my question is, why? What'd you do, bro? What happened? Tell the full story now. Come on, don't give me no half details. Give me the full thing. Give me the whole shabab, the whole shabab. Anyway, let's keep on rocking and rolling here. Let's keep rocking and rolling. Okay, what do I want to show? I think I want to show, speaking about foreigners, here is a Canadian woman going to a U.S. hospital for the very first time. She's flabbergasted because of how efficient, clean, and nice the place is, unlike the healthcare utopia of Canada. Watch this.
Okay, so
all right, she's whispering. Let's get a little bit of sound.
Okay, so I'm in an American hospital for the very first time. I'm Canadian, so when I tell you I'm absolutely shocked. I'm making a video. There is nobody in this waiting room, not even one person. There is a duck pond here. They have a water fountain. There are leather chairs. When you walk into the main lobby, it literally looks like a 5-star hotel. It's insane. It's crazy. There's a park here, like a playground for children. Like, when you walk into a Canadian hospital, the paint is literally peeling off the walls. There are 4,000 people in the waiting room. Everybody is stressed out. Everybody's mad. There's like glass everywhere. People in like medical gear. It feels like you're in an apocalypse movie. This feels like a hotel, literally like a hotel. I don't know. I'm shocked. You guys, I was in and out. I was in and out in 15 minutes. 15 minutes. What?
There we go. Shout out to her. Now listen. Canada, it sucks. UK, they say, we got free healthcare, universal healthcare, all this and that. Well, is the so-called free healthcare good healthcare? How about the hospital itself? Is it like an insane asylum, people everywhere, all over the place, all kind of stuff going on? Or is it more orderly? Is it chaos free? Is it nice? Do you have good service? Yeah, it's free, but does free mean good? Does free mean quick? It doesn't mean that. And it's also not free because you're paying taxes. You're being taxed to death in Canada. You're being taxed to death and you get an inferior service as compared to the USA. And also something else. You have the so-called free, quote unquote free, not really free, but so-called free healthcare. People will use it for anything. Oh, my tummy hurt. My tummy hurt. I got to cough. I got to sneeze. Okay, I'm gonna go to the hospital and be in the ER all day for a tummy ache. You could just go get some green tea and take care of that at the house by yourself. You don't need to always go to the hospital for every little thing. Now, okay, if you want to be healthy, health conscious, just a regular person, go to the doctor, get your normal checkups and stuff like that. That's normal. But going to the ER for every single thing you don't need to. But see, when people have the so-called free healthcare, they're going to use it and abuse it. Okay, that's just the reality of what's happening. So I'm glad you were able to experience a proper healthcare system, unlike Canada, unlike UK, unlike other so-called free healthcare places. Exactly. Wildlife is rough. Yeah, you pay more taxes, so it's not free. But since they don't pay the money right then and there, they think it's free, although it is not. Now, I got one more. This is health related. This person right here eats red meat, butter, eggs, all that good stuff. And she has great lab work. Okay. And she appears to be a nurse. So she knows a little bit about healthcare, I would suppose. Let's watch.
This is a lab work of someone eating red meat, real butter, steak, ribeye, the whole entire, full fat dairy, the yolk and everything. I'm eating it. Explain yourself. I'm sorry, but whenever Cheerios are on the cardiac friendly diet and you're backing that, respectfully, don't talk to me. This is a lab work of.
Now, I'm not an expert on lab work, but I can read a little bit. And what I'm seeing right here, it says, risk something interval. Basically, the green means good. Yellow is like, you gotta work on it. And red means bad. All hers is in the green. All hers in the green. Because she eats like real food. That's the key. People talking about, oh, you shouldn't eat red meat. You shouldn't eat that. You shouldn't eat that. Are you eating food? That's the first thing. First things first. Are you eating actual food? What I had today, I had a sirloin steak, medium rare. Hey, that medium rare, listen, if you are a steak eater and you eat steak well done, stop being so scary. This is the United States. You'll be all right. You're not going to die. If you eating meat well done, your steak specifically, if you're eating it well done, please stop. You're going to enjoy it more if it's rare or medium rare. You could do medium rare. That's okay. If you're a little scared, do medium rare and taste it. Just taste it. No A1 steak sauce, no extra stuff, just some butter, a little bit of Salt Bay activity, medium rare, a nice sear. Shh. Oh my God. Eat that with some of the fat on it as well. Man, you like a whole brand new man. And what I had today, my meal, normally I do salmon and rice. Today I had some rice, some cilantro rice, some broccolini, a sirloin steak, 8 ounce, and some about a few shrimp. Hey, super delicious. All real whole food. Very good for you. Okay. I'm not eating no Cheerios or stuff that come in the bag or a box. Nah. Matter of fact, it's a farm right down the street. I'm gonna go to them and be like, hey man, let me get a half cow. I'm gonna do that one day. I got the garage, I got space. I'm gonna put a nice deep freezer fridge in there. Well, a deep freezer, pardon me. And I see them at Costco. They got them little Chinese freezers. I put it in the or I might get me like an American one made here, little Whirlpool. Put that in the actual garage. Stock it up with a cow. Let me get all of that. Let me get the ribs. Let me get the. Telling you, eat like that and you'll be good. When you get a bunch of sugar and all kind of stuff in there, and that causes the problem right there. Hold on, Byron says try soy sauce and butter with your steak. Okay, I might have to try that. Yeah. No chicken tendies for me. Forget teeth or frog teeth. Pardon me. I can't read here right now. But yeah, no chicken tendies for me. If I eat chicken, it's gonna be straight grilled chicken. No fried chicken. No packaged chicken breasts, chicken tendies you could just put up. No. Dul says, I want to get healthy, but I love eating different foods every day. So my question is, you don't get ever sick of eating? I don't get sick of eating salmon and rice every day because I feel very good after I eat it. You see, the thing about it, when you eat food sometimes, you might feel kind of lethargic, feel kind of sleepy, feel like you're not really feeling your best. When I eat, I feel fantastic. So it's less about the food that I'm eating and more about how it makes me feel and how it makes me look, how my skin is clear, and all that good stuff. It's more about, I look at the food I eat as a fuel source for the Ferrari. Some see it the other way. They see the food as a Ferrari and their body as nothing. I see me as a Ferrari and the food as the fuel that I put. If you got a Ferrari, would you put A7 in it, or are you going to put 93, the highest gas in it? You put the highest gas in it because you got this nice car. Why not put the best possible fuel in this very nice car? I'm just saying. Okay, I'm just saying. It's not even about it being expensive because y'all be on DoorDash spending $1 trillion. Like y'all go on DoorDash and buy a pizza and spend $40. Where you could have purchased a piece of Atlantic char salmon for $20, about that big, for like 2 or 3 days. That's like 3 meals worth of food right there. And you could have bought all the ingredients for like 3 to 4 meals for the same $40. But you got to be smart about how you spend your money. Tilapia, I don't do tilapia because tilapia is often like a trash food. They use tilapia to clean rivers and stuff like this. They use tilapia in waste management facilities. Tilapia is like what you eat if you just have no money at all. Don't eat tilapia. Salmon. If you can get wild caught salmon, if you can't get wild caught, you could do farm raised, but the country of origin is important. I get some farm raised char from Iceland. That's a very good. It's like right in between a lower end farm raised and wild caught, Alaskan. The best is Alaskan wild caught. But if you can't do that, I would say get like a char from Iceland, like a place where they can have a cold water fish. Yeah, go there. All right. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for being here. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, I got one more I wanted to show. Starbucks. You guys love your Starbucks, your Starbucks, right? And shout out to them leaving Seattle potentially, because everybody's leaving Seattle potentially because of how expensive it is and how anti-business and consumer it is. But anyway, if you drink something like this in the morning, automatically that's 1,200 calories of sugar. No protein, no food, just straight up sugar. It's like basically tying your arm off and hitting the vein with sugar. You don't want to do that, but let's watch this. Okay, I'm gonna start music down here. So they got 12 pumps. Hold on, 12 pumps. Let's start from the top. It says day 3 of actually making drinks for people that they consume. And this is 12 pumps of white mocha. Okay. That's a lot of mocha right there. That's just sugar, sugar, sugar. 1 shot for balance. All right. Mix, mix, mix. Sugar, sugar, sugar. Carbs, carbs, carbs. Diabetes, diabetes. And what else? Extra caramel. Y'all say caramel or caramel? I say caramel. That's country. Caramel. Milk. Is that milk? I guess that's milk. And then what else? Let's blend it up. Put some ice in there. And then what are you going to put on top? Some of this cold foam. And more caramel. Goodness gracious. There we go. That right there, easily 1,000 calories. Easily. Now, let's put it in perspective. This one Starbucks drink in the morning is straight sugar. It's going to go straight to spike your insulin, straight to your fat cells. It'll give you a fat layer on your body if you do that a lot. That's what that'll do to you. That's easily 1,000 calories. Now, I can eat a steak, rice, and broccoli, and that'll be about the same as that or less. But the difference is I have no sugar. It's straight up protein, and it's some carbohydrates. I suppose like in rice, but it's not this. This is high fructose corn syrup. I'm getting good carbs. That's going to be for good energy. And I'm getting the broccoli in me to sweep everything out, make everything nice and smooth. And the second course will get nothing but protein to fuel the muscle that you're going to need when you get to be older, especially. That right there, diabetes, straight to the bloodstream. Okay, so yeah, don't get that. Where's the coffee? Exactly. I guess they put coffee in the beginning, right? They put a little bit in there in the beginning. Okay, yeah, so it's a little bit of coffee. See that right there? Hold on. There it is right there. That's the coffee. Hey, you got about that much coffee and the rest is sugar. So yeah, don't do that. Zero, exactly, Byron. That's no nutritional value in that Starbucks drink. None whatsoever. All right, let's keep on going. Matter of fact, we got time now. It's time for the super chats. And then we get to the call. And the number to call, 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. Thank you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. Let's go to Ron Henderson, who says that transformer is a trans confusion, not a leader. That's right. He also says you can have a prayer at City Hall in New York, but you can't have a prayer at a football game. Make that make sense? Exactly. Thank you to R Black Pearl, who says Jasmine didn't do background check on her bodyguard. She didn't care. I worked security 10 years, armed and unarmed. They did background checks on me 3 times. Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. If you're going to be an armed guard for a sitting member of Congress, there needs to be a thorough background check. But apparently there wasn't. That's going to be a problem, Jasmine. And you know what? They probably knew that about you before this whole James Tyler Rico kerfuffle took place. They knew you really wasn't really on point with your background check and who you had around you. Thank you to Laura Catherine for your #1 fan emoji. Appreciate you for that, Laura Catherine. Thank you for that. Thank you to Stephen Hall for the super chat. Thank you to Ryan, who says, my 2024 4Runner with the V6 will outlive the EVs and cockroaches. That's right. Shout out to the 4Runner. Hey, I must 4Runner. I had a 4Runner back in the day. I had a 2020. No, not 2020. I had a 2006 4Runner and 2009. I thought I was a man. I love that car. RIP to the 4Runner. Lanita says Marco equals adults enter the room. And what's happening in chat with the fist emoji? Shout out to you. Thank you to Wildlife's Rough, who says, ABL, I want to know if you have Girl Scout cookies left. Thin Mints. Hey, listen, I got 3 boxes a while back, and I got Thin Mints, the truffles, and lemon something. They're all gone. They're all gone. Okay, I'm a recovery. I'm a recovering cookie addict. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I'm in recovery right now. So yes, they're all gone. Yes, I did eat them. Yes, I did relapse, but I'm on the way back now. No more cookies for me, for now. But if I go to an event, I go to a party, and they're saying, hey, ABL, long time no see. You want a cookie? Yes, I do, actually. Go ahead and give it to me. Anyway, shout out to Ryan, who says, I love wild-caught swordfish, lemon pepper. Exactly. Right on point. Okay, I got some more here that are not coming through. Let me just see if I can find the other super chats. Y'all give me 1 second. And if you like what you have heard tonight so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, let's find the supers. Y'all give me 1 good second. I'm going to pull it on up. And where are we? Okay, thank you. Do I not have everybody? Thank you to Laura Catherine for your #1 fan. I already read that. I'm tripping. There's one I'm missing. No one I'm missing. Thank you to Donna D. Donna D said, love your channel. Keep up the good work. Thank you for that, Donna. I appreciate you. And I think that's everyone. Yeah, I got everybody now. Okay, I'm missing that one. There we go. All right, we good. Let's get to the calls. The number to call, 706. There it is, 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287 is the number to call. And let's go ahead and get rocking and rolling with the calls. I'm turning it on. And let's go ahead and do it. All right. Yeah, El Hombre Negro, you got to learn English, bro. You got to learn English, and you got to learn the context of things. You got to pay attention, bro. Come on now. You got to pay attention. Thank you, Mustard Seeds. I appreciate you. Thank you. George M says, the war, ABL, the war, I'm worried. Are we safe? We good. Don't worry about it. It's all good. Don't worry about nothing. You know, it is all going to be just okay. Yeah, I won't worry about that. And, you know, there's always like little conflicts going on and off. There's periods of peace, periods of war. And we've been here. Hey, we had war going on. We were younger, especially like Iraq. All of that was 20-something years, and we still here. We made it. So don't worry about nothing, bro. We are all good. Let's go 240. You're online. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, ABL. Yeah, this is Rita from North Carolina.
All righty. What's going on?
Nothing. I just wanted to just come on here and say how amazing you are. And it's so funny because every time you're talking, it's like you're rapping a little bit. I don't know. You have this flow, which I love. But I did want to ask you about the woman with the last clip with the Muslim woman. And she was saying how, you know, hey, these terrorists, we you know, like we should call them out. But, you know, the thing is, like, their Quran is actually what's the issue. So it's funny that she's saying, like, yeah, I'm a Muslim and I'm condemning, but at the same time, isn't that what your Quran says? It says to kill the infidel. It says to do this. So aren't the terrorists the one that are actually following? And they're actually following the right way of what their book says. And I know they don't only have the Quran. They have a lot of other books that are more radical that these radical Islamists are following. But if we think about it, the Muslim religion is the danger. And the people who say that, like, oh, we're peaceful, because there are some peaceful Muslim. Like I agree, but are they really understanding what their book says?
That's a good question because you're right. I mean, it is in the book. It does say that. And it says you can kill the infidel. You can lie to the infidel. You could do all those things in the book. Right. So I think some of them choose not to do what the book says and others do. But if they do what the book says, how can that be considered wrong? Because that's what they are following. Now, it is wrong because you're victimizing people, but their religion says it's okay. So at a certain point, if it says it's okay and it's in the book, whenever you have that religion around, it's still going to be a risk of violence.
Right. Exactly. And so it's just, and like, I know we're saying, oh, Mandami should condemn and all, or that he hasn't condemned all this stuff, but think about it. Like, this is his religion. Why would he condemn it? Right? This is what he believes. I mean, should we really expect him to condemn it, really, if that's what his religion is? And, you know, like, why would we get upset? Actually, they are doing it the quote unquote right way that most Muslims should do it. And the ones that are, you know, and I think it's just that lack of knowledge of their religion. Just like I believe there's a lack of knowledge with Christianity, with, you know, people say different terms about, oh, Christians shouldn't do this or that. Or, you know, they say like, oh, we shouldn't judge, but there's actually a book of Judges in the Bible, you know, that there's actually a book of Judges. So it, you know, it just is like, are we really following, like, are they really following their religion if they condemn? Because actually that's what their religion is saying to do. And similar to Christianity, are we really following the word of God when we kind of try to nitpick and come against different things that our book says? Like, we should really know. I think the whole thing is, do we know our religions? Do we know our faith and our truths? Because ultimately, Islam is literally a religion of violence. Like, I mean, it is. And the word Hamas even means violence. I believe it means violence in Hebrew. You can correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, it's just like, are we seeing that this is a spiritual warfare that we're under? And it's not about like political. It's not about, I think we put so much heavy emphasis on like right and left, and we're not realizing that this is deeper than that kind of thing. This Muslim religion is anti-Christ, is anti the God of the Bible. And that's why, October 7th happened. That's why they say death to America. Like, literally, it's not only, oh, this is their culture. It's like, this is literally what their book is saying. So, yeah, that's all I have to say.
Well, thank you for the call. I definitely appreciate you.
Yes. All right. Thank you.
That's a great call. It's a really good call because it is in the book. It is in the book. And do you know your religion? Do you know Islam? Do you know Christianity? Do you really know it? I think most people just follow whatever they want to follow. They read whatever they want to read. They do whatever they want to do in their religion. Mostly. Because if you're Christian, there's then different denominations. Okay, over here they do that, over there they do that. Well, why is it broken up like that? Anyway, I digress. Let's go 725 here on line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, it's Byron Haran. I haven't spoken with you in a long time. Thank you for taking my call, first of all.
No problem.
I didn't get an opportunity to give you my condolences for the passing of Charlie Kirk, your best friend. I didn't have any idea how close you were to him.
Well, I ain't say all that now. I knew Charlie, but I wasn't his best friend.
Okay, but you knew him and you were pretty close, right? I mean, I saw how it affected you.
Yeah, I did know him. It was really hard to go through that, but that's part of life.
Yeah, ABL, you handled that well. But what the caller said, the female caller that was talking about Islam, she's correct. I lived in Kuwait for like 15.5 years. So I know about Islam. I'm a Christian, but I know about Islam. I heard the teachings on television. She's right. It's kind of sad because I have a lot of Muslim friends in Kuwait. Anyway, ABL, the whole point is, and I love your show, I love you, is as Americans, we need to be very aware what's happening around us. What do you think about that?
Yeah, you should be aware of what's going on around you at all times because things can spiral out of control very quickly, and you need to be aware of what's going on for sure.
For sure. I live in, I moved from Arizona to Nevada. I live close to Nellis Air Force Base. And I know for a fact, since the operation in Iraq, in Iran is happening, there's a lot of people out there interested in what's happening on the base. As American citizens, I believe, like you are, we need to be aware, like the caller is, of what's out there, who the enemy really truly is, filter through what the lies are, what the truth is. You're very balanced. ABL, I have watched you criticize President Trump, praise President Trump, in some ways praise, what was her name, Crockett? Not praise, but give credit to her, recognition to Jasmine Crockett and some of her complaints, and rebuke her to your balance. And I think as conservatives, we need to have that balance. What do you say?
Well, I say just, focus on the truth. It shouldn't be about trying to be balanced. It should be just about the truth. Now, if the truth happens to be balanced, then so be it. But if it's not, then so be it.
Exactly. So, ABL, I'm going to let you go. the reason for my call is condolences to you for the passing of your friend Charlie Kirk. And hey, ABL, I don't care what anybody says. So I voted for Reagan in his second term. I thought he was a great president. But I'm telling you, ABL, I've never seen a president like Trump do the things for America, the United States of America, that he's done in his first and second term. I thought Reagan was great. What Trump has done in his first year as president for the United States of America surpasses the 8 years Reagan has done for America. I know for a fact, when all the dust is settled and all the other side, those who hate him, the dust settles, Americans will realize how great a president Trump was and is for the United States of America. ABL, I'm gonna hang up right now because I know there's other callers. But hey, ABL, thank you for being great for being a great American, and Yahweh bless the United States of America. Have a good night, ABL.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate it. All right, shout out to the caller. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. Let's go to 215 on line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello, ABL. Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Oh, you can hear me pretty well?
It's all right. I mean, you kind of like, are you on speakerphone?
Hold on. All right. Now can you hear me?
It's better, yeah.
Okay, so basically, ABL, here's what I wanted to say about the message about some people on the right wing. And with this one rhetoric I've been hearing over time is, once you've been called a name enough, like, for example, the term racist. Some people on the right said once they've been called the term racist so much by people on the left, they said, F it, I might as well just be a racist. And I kind of disagree with that rhetoric, even though it's kind of a figure of speech. But the reason why I kind of disagree with that rhetoric a little bit, because it's like you're kind of allowing someone, the way it comes off to me is like you're kind of allowing somebody to dictate your character, to define your character, to define who you are as a person.
But who says that though? who says that? Like I've not heard that. Like, okay, they say I'm racist, I'm gonna be who says that?
All right, so I would tell you who says it. It's not many people, commentators on the right wing, but it's a small fringe that do say it. So I know this one guy named Amir Odom. He said that a few times. Oh, and I can't remember the other ones that have said it. But you know,
well, I mean, okay, okay. Now Amir, okay, let's talk about Amir. Now I don't know Amir, but I know who he is. Now, just because he has that opinion does not make it the mainstream. Amir is also gay. Is that a mainstream opinion?
Yeah, I get where you're coming from.
You see what I'm saying? It's like, okay, just because he gay don't mean that, oh yeah, that's just like what conservatives do. Nah, that's just him. He has his own opinion and it's fine. But I don't agree with him being gay. Well, I don't agree with that lifestyle or the idea that somebody should just be racist because they get called a racist. You see?
Yeah. And it's like, and I understand that's his opinion, but it was just like the way you just said, like you said, it's his opinion. But the way I took it, I'm like, no, like that's just not true. Like everybody on the right wing is not like that. Yeah. We're not just gonna being called a name so much where we might as well just be what they're describing us as. That's not how it is.
That's it. That's just him. That's just him. Like I said, he's also gay. That don't mean that that's the way to be either.
Oh yeah, well I don't care for the fact he's gay or not. I don't really pay that no mind. It's just the fact that he said that. I was like, no. And I know it's about to be the end of your show, but one more thing I wanted to say. Now, I started to look into more of like geopolitics. You know, it's crazy, ABO. A lot of things can be easily. I mean, you already know this, of course, but a lot of things can be easily Googled research. And it's like a lot of these commentators, they make all these claims, and then when I Google it, which takes like less than an hour, less than 20 minutes, especially about what's going on geopolitically, it's like they just completely get it wrong. And I'm just like, wow. You couldn't do a 20-minute Google search just to get your information that correct?
See, that's why some people are better than others. You know, some people, they put out just anything because it just feel like saying something. They don't really care about being factually correct. And others take time to do some research and get their facts right before they open their mouth.
Yep, that makes perfect sense. Yep, like you said, some people are better than others.
Exactly.
All right, well, thanks for taking my call, ABL. You have a good night.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate you.
All right.
All right, let's go to the next call. 719 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Stephanie.
All righty, what's happening?
Pretty good. Good show tonight. I know you're busy, so I don't think people really realize what's going on here. Our states, our biggest states on the outskirts, and now the inside, the reason why that the people are being run off out of those states by your Muslim mayors, governors, is for the simple fact. Does anybody realize what happens when miles and miles and miles, acres and acres of land where there's no more businesses, no more housing, none of that? They're running them off out of there because they are going to come in a couple years and they're going to buy up all of that property with all of the money that they've been stealing from us. And after they do that, you are going to see shrines going up everywhere. You are going to see schools, Sharia law buildings going up, where people are prosecuted in them. So everybody thinks, well, they're just running off Americans. Well, this is all being done systematically. And now it's not only on the outskirts of our country, it's happening within the middle of it. And we are overrun now. Our government is literally overrun with people who are not good actors. They have been, and they're stealing trillions of dollars from us. You add up all these states, and then they're going to come in and buy this property up, and they're going to own those states. They will no longer be ours anymore. They've made that clear. I mean, the Capitol in New York, I thought that there was not supposed to be church with state, and yet they're in there with rugs on the floor, showing ISIS signs, holding up their fingers, Muslim prayer. I mean, is anybody really paying attention? These rich people, every time they leave the states, even the poorer people trying to get out, when land is not being used, buildings are not being used, it goes on the auction block. And they're going to own us before too long. And it is so deep embedded within our system now because nobody's been paying attention. So every time you start to see California falling, New York falling, or interstates falling, that property will be bought up, and it's not going to be bought up by us. Taxpayer dollars is going to use it to buy it up. I mean, there is purpose behind what they do, and we're not paying attention. So I don't have social media. My grandson let me use his phone. I have a house phone, so I can't really get on. Honestly, if I want somebody to treat me like shit, I can just let my husband get drunk. But I'm telling you, we're not paying attention to what's going on here. These people, they have got to be watched. And so I know you're busy, so I don't really think people are really paying attention to what is actually going on. Our land is going to start being bought up. We're not going to be America. And Trump, I get it. Without the rest of the world being in good shape, we can't either. But the people that you left behind to police our backyard, they are not doing a good job. So you need to look a little bit inner of what's happening in your own backyard too, because we're going to wake up one morning and just like London, we're going to see courthouses that do Sharia law. We are going to start seeing big mosques everywhere. So just please, people, pay more attention to what's going on out there, because when you leave a state and it becomes unworkable, money men come in and buy it up. And the money men coming in here, they don't like this country and they don't like us. Everybody have a wonderful night.
Thank you for the call. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
That was a great call. Shout out to her. Shout out to her. No, normally no cussing on the line, but how to let her go. How to let her, get it off her chest. So shout out to you. Thank you for the call. 203, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, what's going on? It's Mr. Steve from Connecticut. I called the last show. I called out, what's his name? Ivan's hypocrisy on how he explained Marco Rubio, who's going to be our next president in 2028. Woo! Can't wait for that, buddy. But I do want to, talk upon what the last caller said. I think she's right. I saw what happened in Virginia. There's a Muslim, I don't know exactly what his position is, but he ended up proposing a bill to that new governor, Spamberger. I think she's a governor, I think governor. About taking away the guns of the citizens in that state, Virginia, and he's gonna get it passed. And I believe it's an assault rifle ban, but the people who own assault rifles are going to be able to keep them. Just they can't sell anymore, and they're outlawed. I think it's wrong. It's against our amendment rights, and they are taking over. I'm not a racist. My history, my personal life's history has proved that I'm not a racist. But I do believe that these Muslims are coming in, and I have read part of the Quran and noticed that part of their religion is to overcome and take other parts of the world, and it says so. And other things such as violence against people who don't believe in the Muslim faith. And I just think that they are here to take over. I believe that the United Kingdom is already being taken over. I believe they're succeeding in that. And I say to myself on a daily basis, because I'm really big into politics, I watch Benny, I watch, the Black conservative perspective. Even though I'm white, I still watch them. I mean, I don't care. I agree with all these other YouTubers, and I say to myself on a daily basis, what's going on with the United States? Why aren't we taking action? Doesn't everybody see that we are getting taken over? It's clearly obvious, and I'm flabbergasted on the fact that how could other people can't see this happening? It's seriously, I feel like they are strategically taking over the United States, day by day. It's just it's mind-boggling to me. I don't know what your thought is on that. I know you're into politics, obviously, as well. I don't know if you want to share that info, but I feel like I agree with the last caller. I really do. I see it, and it's very upsetting, very, very upsetting. I don't think we'll ever be able to see the 300th year of our anniversary. I think by then it'll be fully taken over. That's my belief.
Well, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
I appreciate you too. Thank you very much, ABL. God bless. Have a nice night.
Same to you, man. Right on. All right. Shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. Shout out to you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far tonight, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Right on. 310, you don't lie. Who am I speaking to?
This is Ron from Georgia. How you doing, ABL?
I'm doing well. About yourself?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. I got my grandson and my daughter here from Arizona, And I'm so glad and thankful that they're here just to visit for this short time. Just got them for a week. So I'm going to relish that. But, man, our people, America's not going nowhere. And I like that people are keeping their eyes open, because it is very evil things going on in our nation right now. Like I said, it's not right or wrong. It's good and evil. Okay, and that, like I keep saying, ABL, that's what's going on. It is a spiritual warfare, but greater than that, we are, like I said, we were invaded. The last 4 years under the Biden administration was an invasion. It was a soft invasion. We got caught sleeping at the wheel, but that's because we had Sleepy Joe and his administration. And Kamala, she sleep at the wheel. She still sleep at the wheel, cackling away. But, America is not going nowhere. True Americans, the true Americans, we won't let it go that way. They're trying to take away our weapons and everything like that, saying that, that's the problem. No, people got mental issues. That's a problem. These people are mental. And I thank God that lady said that she know that she can't handle a pew-pew because she's not responsible. When we got many people like that, they're not responsible. And they don't need no weapons. But the responsible ones, the ones that really love our country, yeah, we need as many as we can handle. Okay, and just need to be tactically equipped. Know your backstop, and be alert so you won't get hurt. Because I tell you, they're doing all kinds of terrorist tactics. Like I said, we got people in our midst right now that we have no knowledge of, and yet these people talking about they don't want to get them out of here. No, these people are our own people, are our enemies in the midst. And like I said, all these people in New York right now up there having this fast of low down fast and everything like that. They protesting for the war in Iran. These people need to be rounded up. Like I said, these people are traitors, and traitors need to be rounded up and prosecuted straight out. And like I said, I'm kind of hard lining, brother. Because I'm like, take care of traitors like we do Benedict Arnold. You know what I'm saying? They need to be dealt with. We got too many people like that in our nation right now that hate our nation. If you hate it so much, get up out of here. And I mean, get up out of here now, because we're trying to move forward, not backwards. I'm tired of people doing this to our nation, and I'm tired of our legislators, the senators and everything playing American people holding us hostage, with the TSA and all of that. It's ridiculous that they don't want to go ahead and have the SAVE Act. It's to save America, but we know what they want to do. They don't want to save America. They want to save their own necks. That's what it's about. Because when the Americans vote, true Americans, the ones that are knowledgeable, because we got a lot of blabbering idiots out there, and people don't know nothing, as is being shown that for the period of time ever since they start doing the laptops in the schools, these people can't read, can't write, they have no discipline. I mean, these are supposed to be the future. If we have a future on these people, man, we are doomed in that sense. But I thank God for the people who are really teaching their children, their grandchildren how to read, write, and do some arithmetic, give them some discipline with some act right behind it. That you catch them doing wrong, hey, ain't no problem going ahead and get them a little act right. I don't have no problem telling my grandson, you better get right, brother, because I'll give you some act right. But the thing about it is that, these people don't want to do that. They don't want to do that these days. Parenting is hard. Living right is hard, but it's right. And like I said, there's right and wrong. Same thing about Christianity and your faith. Your faith, you need to learn about your faith and hold on your faith. and do your faith. It's not just about knowing, because a lot of, like I said, you got these preachers out there preaching another faith, not the true faith, another faith, counterfeits. And if you don't know, you don't know. You're going down with them, but they're going to pay a higher cost because they know better. But you didn't. You paying the cost because you should have known better. You should have been like the Bereans, learn for yourself. Like you say that you said, don't just take my word for it, read it yourself. You say that, you know what I'm saying? Just don't take my report. Look, you said you got the receipts right there. You go check it out. See if I'm lying. You know, and that's what you're supposed to do. We're supposed to be an informed people. We have got so much information, but yet we're so ignorant. I mean, so many people are ignorant. Not we, not me, not you, ABL. You know, not the ones that's paying attention, but the ones that are not. They are ignorant. And like I said, there are people out here trying to scheme to get our land and everything like that to take over, and that's why they're trying to cut it out. Where no foreign country can buy land in here. They shouldn't be able to buy no land. This, like I said, this is America. It ain't China. It ain't Russia. It ain't Uzbekistan or anything like that. This is America, and like I said, it's supposed to be America, and Americans need to understand that what blessing that we have living here, the privilege to be here, the privilege to have these rights, and we got people that going to step on our privilege and stomp on our flags and play us with our own Constitution. I'm sick of it, and we Americans should be sick of it too. But anyway, brother, because I could get going on, brother, because I'm getting a little heated up. but I love you, man. I love you, and I love everybody. You know, I keep praying for our country, our president, our war fighters, our warriors that are out there doing a heck of a job. God bless them. You know, pray for pray for our loss. You know, pray for our loss and pray for God's covering over them, and let them continue to be valiant in their effort. You know, like I said, we're not going to half-step it. We're going to go ahead and stomp them like we do roaches. You know, I'm sorry. We're going to stomp them out. You know, like I said, they need to be stomped out just like they did the Nazis. When the Nazi war ended, and did you know they had stragglers? You know what they did to those stragglers? They put them down like sick dogs. That's what we need to do. Those stragglers, after it's all done, the ones that still want to go ahead and encourage that, track them down, put them down like sick dogs, because this stuff needs to be rooted out by the root, all of it. You know, all of it needs to be rooted out. And not only there, but in our country too, because like I said, these terror cells, they're here. And we just need to be vigilant and be alert. America, you need to be alert. You got people ready to throw things over your head. Be alert. And we won't get hurt. God bless us all, okay? God bless you, my brother. You should take care, okay?
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
You too, sir. Bye-bye.
All right, great call. Shout out to my man for the call. Always a great one. 256 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you, I'm not going to ask you anything that everybody else has been asking you or talking to you about. What do you think about AI?
That's a really broad question. I think that it has its purpose. I think it might be kind of overrated. And beyond that, that's kind of a deep question. But my general thoughts is that it does have a purpose. It does have a good use. But I think it's overrated right now.
Okay, because I actually help code AI right now, and under like NDAs, I actually can't tell you which AI it is. But do you think that we could improve AI to make it better for everyone to use?
I'm sure that it could be improved. Now, I wouldn't know how to go about doing that, obviously, but I'm sure it could be improved. Anything could be improved, in my opinion.
Do you think we should allow it to have emotion?
That's a question that's kind of hard to answer, because what is emotion? I mean, right. You know, it's kind of hard, because it's like emotion, that'd be like a thing that a conscious being would do? Is AI conscious in the true way of a human being? I'm not quite sure. I think it can emulate consciousness, but true consciousness is not a thing that a machine can actually have.
But we can definitely emulate the emotion. Like, we can definitely do that with programming. Do you think we should do that, or should it just be like a ChatGPT type entity where it simulates it, but it doesn't actually have it?
For what I would want to use AI for, I don't think emotion would be part of it, but some people want to use AI for like a love bot. You get people getting married to AI. I have no desire to do anything like
that stuff's weird. I don't want it to be like that. I see what I'm doing is a new AI with people that I work with. Again, NDAs, I can't really talk too much about it, but we're trying to create a bot that actually works with humans on an actual level, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yes.
Do you think we should do that, or is that kind of going against like humanity or anything like that?
I don't think if AI can emulate or maybe some kind of way duplicate what a human being could do when you're talking about work, when you're talking about things that at one point may have seemed a bit too complex for a non-human to do, I don't think it's the same thing as replacing humanity, because there was at one point a job called a computer for a human being. That was your job, to compute. And now we have computers. So some would say that's kind of anti-human, but we depend upon these things now. We develop society upon these things. So I think AI is the next step in that evolution. But I don't think that computers have replaced human beings, nor will AI, because human beings are much more complex than most of us even understand.
And see, that's what we're trying to program into our AI, because it's not Grok, it's not ChatGPT, it's a different AI. It's going to be revolutionary when it actually comes out. It's a new AI that's going to come out. It's going to be free for everyone to use. And I was just curious if you would use it or not.
It depends. If I had a need for whatever the AI was able to do, then maybe. But if not, then I wouldn't. Just like I use Grok. I use Grok for like my articles and to make some of my thumbnail stuff. But beyond that, I don't really have a use for it. So if your AI has a use and it makes sense, then I would use it.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate you. All right, there we go. So shout out to the AI. Okay, let's go. You're on speaker 2757.
Hey, Mr. Logan, Chesapeake Bob here. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. How about yourself?
I'm good. I'm actually trying out some new earbuds with a mic, so I didn't know how you'd be hearing me. I know you're running late, so I want
to. It sounds good.
That's good. Thank you. I want to ask a favor from you.
All right.
All right. Now, I know you don't live in this area no more, but you still probably know people that do. And there's a lot of stuff coming down. I think April 15th or April 16th is the last day for voting, and I wanted to bring them up just because I know there are a lot of people who live in this area who listen to you. Can I do that?
Sure.
Two things. Number one, there's a House bill that is going through to try to redistrict Virginia and basically take away a number of districts with Republican seating people, just like what they're doing down in Texas. You heard that?
Yes.
Okay. So I would like to encourage people the local people, look into it, go vote, even though they're not telling you it's election time. It is. The second thing on that is they're also trying this Spanberg girl. I'll tell you what. Oh my God. I'm just sitting there shaking my head. She's also got a bill on her desk, or it's headed to her desk, where they're going to, quote, yes, I'm using air quotes, ban magazines that have more than 15 rounds. But underneath that, there's also a whole list of weapons that they're looking to ban. You can't buy them. You can't resell them. You can't transfer them. You can't give them away as gifts. So those two things are coming up on ballots that nobody's talking about here in the next couple of months, month and a half. So I wanted to use your platform. I'm sorry to, it's your platform, but I wanted to bring those two things to front so that people in the area understand what's going on behind their back.
Right on. I mean, that's really important because these bills are going to affect people's lives. So it's, it's important that we get the word out there about what's happening.
Yep. So that's pretty much all I really wanted to talk about. And I appreciate your voice. And if you, it sounds like you've heard about them.
Yes.
But yeah, it would be good to let other people out there know about what's going on. And we gotta go to the polls, even though they don't tell us the polls are open. And we gotta defeat these two bills.
Right on, man. Absolutely.
All right, sir. Well, I appreciate your platform to listen to me, and I'll catch you on the flip side.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Great call. Let's go. 515 online. Who am I speaking to?
All right, Joe.
Deborah.
Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me?
I hear you well. Who am I speaking to?
Okay, you're speaking to. And I just wanted to put my 2 cents in of 2 personal experiences I had. That I was a leasing consultant over 10 years ago, and we had not Americans coming in to get an apartment, and every single one of them were contractors for Wells Fargo. That was their job. And they always had to have a door that was facing southwest. And there would be like 7 a week. And it happened for like 6 months. And some took apartments and some didn't. So anyways, after a year, we have to do apartment inspections. And we would go into the apartment, make sure everything was okay, no bugs, whatever. But one of these people, when we went to inspect the apartment, always pay rent on time, never any complaints. But there was one shirt hanging in the closet, a mattress on the bed, and 3 laptops in the living room. So obviously nobody was living there. And that was over a year's time. But I think the state has some stipulations of something has to be in the closet and you have to have a bed on the floor. The other experience I had was I had my daughter in daycare at a Christian church, and I went early one time to pick her up. There's about 75 kids in this daycare. You go in and there's somebody at the front desk, and there's like 10 other, people, daycare workers working. And nobody was at the front desk, and nobody was around. So I went upstairs to the balcony, and I looked down, and all 75 kids were praying with their face to the ground and their butt in the air. And this is 10 years ago, so I didn't really catch on, as I'm watching things happen now. And so I finally found the administrative person, and I said, "What are they doing?" She's like, "Oh, they're just playing." And I'm like, all 75 of them at once? And I just thought, I tried to talk to her about it afterwards. I was like, "So what were you told about, the position you were in to be praying?" But the weird thing to me was we're in a Christian church, and there wasn't, like any Muslim or any people that would teach that. So I'm like, what are they teaching? How would have you reacted if you walked in and saw your 75 kids doing that, and one of them was your daughter?
Yeah, I would like, well, we're not going to be here anymore because obviously this is some Muslim stuff going on. We're being indoctrinated, and that's not what I signed up for. So let's go ahead and leave right now.
I did leave. But yeah, those were just listening to everybody talk tonight, and I'm like, they're like you've had great callers, and the guy saying, you got to pay attention. I'm like, you guys don't understand. This has been going on under the table, I guess you would say. And before, you could not say anything about anybody because that was bad, right? And now everybody's like, keep your head on a swivel. If you see something wrong, say it. And I obviously, when I was a leasing consultant, I'm like, this is very highly unusual. And every single person has the same job, and they're all contractors. What's the good for, I didn't understand the draw. So they obviously had a mission to do something. And also, when they would move in, they were never working. Like, you just see them walking around. It wasn't like a 9 to 5, and I don't know. It's very strange, but I don't know how that would go over nowadays. Like, I'd like to see the difference between then and now.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be interesting to see how that would go now.
All right. Well, thank you for taking my call, and great show.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Okay, that'd be a wrap for me. It's past my bedtime. I got to go, but shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for joining. If you like what you heard tonight, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. I'll be back live on Tuesday on Instagram. Shout out to you guys who are on Tuesday Instagram. I appreciate y'all. And shout out to you guys who are watching the Tuesday replay on Friday here on YouTube. I appreciate y'all for that as well. If you want to catch a Tuesday Instagram live, that'll be on Instagram exclusively at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's right around 10:30 or so every Tuesday on Instagram. And of course, I'm here on YouTube streaming every Wednesday and Saturday from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. or so Eastern Standard Time. And also, I'm going to have both of the podcasts up on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether they be Google Play, Spotify, Apple iTunes, etc. Link for that will always be in the description box, or visit your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. All right, so that will be a wrap for me. Let me make sure I got everybody. Read the super chats here. Then I put on up, put the bow on top. Thank you to the mods for, thank you to you guys. I got my little head of myself. Thank you to you guys for watching, retweeting, super chat, and whatever you do. I know I could not do the show without you. Thank you to the mods for keeping the trolls in check. I appreciate y'all for that as well. I got super chats. I'm going to read these. Then I wrap it on up, put the bow on top. Thank you to NJ Pepper for your donation and for becoming a member. I appreciate you for that. Thank you to Taylor Langley, who says Democrats shut down DHS and TSA during the most volatile time with the Iran situation. It seems like a Democrat thing to do. Exactly, right? When you need to be kind of moving around and doing certain things, you want to do that. And when you need to have more security, you want to shut down the DHS. There was a plane that got deplaned. I think it might have been today or yesterday. They got deplaned because there was a taser found on board. How did the taser get on board? Well, maybe if you reduce the TSA staff, you might have some mistakes, some things that slip through the cracks, like, I don't know, a taser or the dude that was like doing too much. Listen, if you Muslim, it's okay. I'm not mad about you being Muslim, but don't be on the plane with a timer going off every 10 minutes, like some here you go. Sir, are you trying to blow the plane up? What it be doing? We just had Iran happen. Here you go with something beeping every 10 minutes. You speak in Arabic, all this, and then you trifling with your bags and keep getting up. It's like, sir, please just relax. Are you trying to detonate a bomb on this plane or what? That's racist. Nah, man, we just had Iran. We got to read the room, okay? Now, I don't care what color you are or nothing like that, but I'm just put 2 and 2 together, and if it get to be 4, then so be it. You got to get up out of here. So, yeah, please read the room. Don't do nothing crazy. And to the Democrats, what are y'all doing? Like, what is the purpose of all this? The shutdowns. What do you accomplish from these shutdowns? You know what? I'm going to tell you one thing as I wrap it on up here. One thing about what's happening with these strikes, the traffic is cleared up. I'll tell you what. Going down 75 is like smooth sailing. There's like no traffic. It's like, what's going on? Although I don't want gas to be $1 trillion a gallon, it does wonders for traffic. But anyway, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. Until next time. Y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.